What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, the lady Ella Mar. We're now listening to the sexiest and watching podcast of all time. And you know what that is? The lady in the Don. And when Ella Mar's in the building, you got it right. Ella Mar, how are you today?
Tony, always better when I'm here. It's very relaxing time. I definitely need this during the crazy week. So I'm very
I,
happy
I
to be here.
I hear you. I got some not so great news myself today. So, being here with you and being here with my people in here and everyone else makes it feel, I can't say, better. I mean, better than what it is. You know what I mean? As good as I can be. Let's say what up to people who are in the house rocking with us right now. We got Don Ron up in this place rocking with us. Fembot is up in here right now. Johnny was up in there rocking with us. Wolf Spear, he's a member. Wolf Spear is up in here. The beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Carla Way is in here. I see her. Let's highlight her. She's up in the building and everything else. Who else do we got rocking with us? We got Winter in the building rocking with us. Steph Snow holding it down. Songbird is in here. Jay Hall is said he's ready for the smoke. Hey, we ready to give it to you, Jay Hall. We ready to give it to you, man. Today's the day, baby. Today is the day. I'm telling you right now. You ever hear that song? Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm on the edge right now. I am on the edge. I'm telling you. And if I'm going over, I'm taking everybody with me. So don't do it. What up, Avi? What's going on with you? Puerto Rican up in the building, rocking with us right now. Gregan, I said, is rocking with us right now. You know what I mean? Purple Alizé is in the building, rocking with us right now, and everything else. Johnny is in the building right now. Good. I'm glad Emily is in here. Baby girl is up in here rocking with us. All right, we are here. Let's get right to it. We'll get some more shout outs later on. We have over 130 something people here right off the bat. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boy and your lady. The number one show for the fans, by the fans. Let these people know that this is the number one from show on the fucking whole YouTube, period. Point blank, end the story. Let's get into this last episode, number 9. Elamar, how did you feel about it?
Give me all kinds of well, I hate bugs. And there was a lot of that going on. A lot of that going on to well, I'm saying today. Oh, different things. I mean, wow. Let's just say wow. Very wow kind of episode. A lot of the expected stuff. Did not expect the characters that kind of had to swallow those creatures. Uh
Mhm.
yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen to them.
Yeah, do you think that Randall? Let's go through it. There's
Mhm.
certain people who have. I think someone has to die. If they don't kill anyone this season, it would be a terrible situation. Let's go through it. We see Randall get taken
Mhm.
down by bugs. Is he going to die?
Well, I mean, he's outside, right?
Mhm.
He's outside. The creatures are, or the monsters are out there. He's so yeah, I would say he would die, but then the show kind of surprises me sometimes. So he may come out of there, and that may be the new normal, where the creatures maybe stop killing because they don't need to do that anymore,
All
because
right.
now they leveled up everybody at the same time. Instead of each person going to the next level, the entire town levels up. Oh, not levels up, goes to the next level.
All right, so we have Randall. You think he's gonna? Let's go
Yeah,
to the.
yeah,
Let's go to
yeah.
the next person that we see that was affected by this thing, and that is Chrissy's girlfriend, whatever her name is. I always met Mary Maria, whatever it is, something crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about her? Is she going to live or die?
I don't think that I thought she was already dead, but then I saw her chest rising, like as if she's still breathing. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess she's not dead. So I don't see the reason why they would just kill her off in the beginning of the episode, unless there's going to be some very memorable death that
Hmm.
we will actually see it happening live. That would be really cool, to kill her off on the bed with people around her, where stuff like that will happen in front of, well, everybody and us.
All right, now before we get to the last person, let me say something. That there's a man in here right now. His name is Taryn. Taryn, I don't want to butcher his last name. You know, I'm from Queens, New York. My I don't speak the Queen's English, so sometimes we messing up people's names. I need to hear it first. So I'm not gonna say his last name, but I highlighted this comment up here. And everyone has told me that this man has had one of the greatest theories ever about from on this thing. But I'm happy to say that he will be on this channel Friday at 6 p.m. He will be here and he's gonna go through his whole theory. So he's put some ads to it. He's gonna 6 p.m. Eastern. We will be here and he's gonna break down the theory. Don Tony Teflon will be here. I will listen to this theory for the first time. Never heard it before. I'm gonna listen to it for the first time.
Nice.
We're gonna see what it really is and see if it is what it is and everything else. So make sure you come back on Friday night, 6 p.m. and we're gonna hear about it, and we're gonna hear his theory, and we're gonna hold it to the test. And I
Nice.
appreciate him coming on and everything else and all that good stuff. So we will see you, Teron. Is it Teron or Teron? Could be one. What's gonna call him T? It's easy for me. Are we gonna see you, Big T? We're gonna see you on 6. Thank you again for coming on, and we're gonna have a good time and everything else. So make sure you're here at 6 to hear all that and everything else. All right. Last but not least, we have someone probably unexpected, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that would be Julie. Like,
Yeah.
out of all the Matthews family, I was thinking about one of them may have to die. I didn't think it would be Julie. What do you think about Julie? Does she live or die? I mean, they ended it. See, this is the whole thing. They ended it on her.
Yeah.
So what do you think? And I'm going to get back to that. If not, remind me of it. They
Yeah.
ended it on her. I'm going to explain something to people about the ending, but go right ahead.
I don't see her die. I mean, she's one of the main people who we actually saw in the beginning. Her death would be definitely something crazy. But I think if they wanted to make an impact like that, they would have taken out Tabitha or Jim. I just don't see why they would take out Julie. She's not a kid anymore in a way, but it's kind of strange. It would be strange to see her.
The first kill we
Right.
seen was the little girl.
No, yeah, but as far as the children that we know, because that was the girl I've never seen, so it's kind of like, oh, poor little girl, and then she, there she goes, and then she's dead. These people, these kids that are teenagers, young adults, we know them more, so it's more emotional. Like we would see Ethan dying.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna say there's no way she dies, and I'm gonna explain to you. If you are a fan of television like I am, I know the secrets and the tricks of all the television shows that I've watched over the years that they like to do. All right, and there was a show back in the day. It was called Batman. All right, it came out in the 70s. Batman. So I watched the reruns of it. All right, and every time at the end of the show, they would have Batman in some type of predicament. Oh, Batman's gonna fall off a cliff. Oh, he's over here. How is he going to survive this? And then it ends. And that became known as a cliffhanger, right? A cliffhanger ending. Now, the whole thing about a cliffhanger ending is that you can't start the show and the person falls off the cliff. That never happens, right? That's not the way it goes. You know what I mean? What happens is when you have a cliffhanger ending, the person gets out of it. You don't see how they're gonna get out of it. That's what makes it a cliffhanger, but they get out of it. There's never been a cliffhanger where the person actually falls off the cliff the next episode. It doesn't happen. It's not good TV. It's not good writing. That's just not the way it goes. So for the fact that they ended it on her like that, now if they would have not ended it on her, then I could see her going. But the fact that they did end it on her and they made her the cliffhanger means 100% that she's not going to die. And that's just the way Hollywood writes and everything else. So that's just what it is. So I guarantee you that that's the way it ends. Trust me, you know what I mean? I know Taryn, he is a very accomplished writer. I'm just a simple children's book writer, but I've written some other things and I really know a little bit about writing. So that's not the way you write. And you don't this as a reason why they call it cliffhanger, right? You don't say, hey, there's a cliffhanger, someone's gonna fall off the cliff and then start the episode, the person just falls off.
Right. And it's like, oh, there goes my excitement that I was waiting for. Yeah. And
how are they going to survive it? You don't know. It doesn't look like they are, but how do they do it? But they always do it. So I don't think she's gonna die when it's all said and done and all that. So that's what we got a super chat from Luna and who came on the channel. We had her on the channel. She came on for a little bit, asked some questions. We got to see how beautiful she was and a beautiful family in the background and reminded me of my family. So Luna, moving day today. Sorry, can't mod, but wanted to send love to the Teflon fan. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that and everything else 100%. And have a safe move. And I hope it's for the best. Are you moving because you want to move and you're finding a bigger place or buying your own house or something like that? Now, as for you people like Black Confetti who sit here and wants to say rip to the Donnie, you won't call me Donnie. Ain't no Donnie over here. It's no Brasco. It's a Don, baby. Get it right. Alien theory. It is aliens. I am more convinced of that than ever. I'm not even worried about it. We good on that one. I can't wait to come here. I swear, Lamar, when it is proven that this is the case, y'all do not miss the show because I'm gonna be in here for all y'all haters. I am gonna be here for you. I am gonna be right here for you, just like I was. But with this one, like I was for all those Game of Thrones people who doubted me, and I gave it to them, and I'm giving it to you. I'm give it to you. We said X gonna give it to you, the Don's gonna give it to you. That's just what's gonna be. So we shall see. Again,
Yeah.
let's go into a little bit more of this episode. I call cap on a couple of things, but let me get your opinion before we go into everything else. The whole situation with Boyd. Let's go through Boyd's situation, right? Boyd's situation, he gets stuck out there in there with Don and everything, comes and saves the day and all that. How did you like that scene? How did you like all that playing out?
You know, what I really wanted to see is Boyd actually shooting him. I wanted to the moment what's his name? Oh my gosh. Randall. Yeah, Randall. The moment Randall said, "What, are you gonna shoot me?" and Boyd should have just like shoot him in the shoulder somewhere where he was, quickly, rather quickly, especially over there. Like, yeah, like, do you want me? And I meant to shoot you there. Like, I can aim better or something like that.
Dude, I shot my wife.
Right? Like,
I'm gonna shoot you. I shot my wife. You don't think I'll shoot your ass? Come on, man. You must not have heard my name or who I am. You must not realize I'm from Brooklyn, baby. It's a Brooklyn boy right here. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was that's the thing that I was missing. I really wanted him to shoot. Not just say, not to just aim and get ready, but literally shoot him right there. Not like dead or anything, but just wound him a little bit.
Yeah, so only I like the scene, but I call cap on two situations on it. Number one, I call cap on the throwing away of the keys that he did. Like that shit didn't go that far.
Right.
Like it wasn't like he was Aaron Rodgers back there throwing. That shit was going like I seen him drop. I knew it. I seen exactly where they went.
I was like right there. Just go pick it up. Just like right there.
Like I'd be like, boy, you stupid motherfucker, went over there and grabbed them keys. Like your ass is staying out here. We getting in the car. We out. You know what I mean? I would have did that. And I call cap on them, Boyd asking, "Oh, take the gun and go outside." Like to me, come on, are you serious?
Handing a gun to him? Like, no. Yeah.
Why would you do that? You just threaten this dude's life. What stops this dude from just turning around, shooting all three of y'all and staying inside? You know what I mean? And all that good stuff. So those two things I didn't like. And one more thing, and I love this show, so I'm not trying to bust on the show. Everyone else. I did not like the line that Randall said when he threw Jim on the floor. It said, "Let's dance." You want to dance?
Yeah.
You want to dance?
I wonder where that was from. Is it just the way he talks? Yeah.
No one talks like that.
Yeah. And I was wondering, like, where is that from?
No one talks like that. No one talks. No one says that. Hey. You want to dance? Yeah, that's so movie.
People have different meanings to the word dance, and you might get a weird answer to that.
I've been in a lot of fights in my life, unfortunately, a lot, and a lot, and never ever have I said or I've heard someone say to me, "Do you want to dance?" Ever? That's never happened ever. No one's ever done that. It's not Footloose. right? It's not that, you know what I mean? Now, I'm from the era where the breakdancing era.
Hmm.
Like I used to wear windbreakers, and people I used to hang out with used to carry around rolled up linoleum. I used to carry around rolled up linoleum, and people you want to battle and unroll the linoleum and start breakdancing on the linoleum. Like I'm from that era. When I was
Hmm.
young, that's what it was. You know what I mean? And even then, when we were actually dancing, did we
Hmm.
ever say, "Do you want to dance?"
Yeah.
It was, "You want to battle? You want to
Yeah.
battle me right now? Put the linoleum down. Put the radio down. Let's go." And that was it. And it was,
Yeah.
and it was done. And that's the way it would go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, nah, that,
The,
that, that I've never
yeah.
heard that line. Thought that line was a little kind of
That line reminded me of a different thing. For those who watch Doctor Who series, when they refer to dancing, that has a completely different meaning too. It's basically dancing between the sheets in the bed, kind of dancing. So that line kind of like it has different meaning to different people. For Doctor Who was Doctor question was the
Black
Doctor Who
Confetti.
dances.
Black Confetti says, Don,
Mhm.
if it's an alien, I will send $2,000 to the charity of your choice. My charity is called Tony Teflon's bank account. That's a charity I look out for me.
Yeah.
But I will, if that is the case, you don't want to send it to me. I will come up with a charity.
And also, I was wondering because Boyd walked over there, right? It was getting dark already. Didn't he have like what less than 15 minutes of daylight?
Yeah, let me answer this real quick before we
Mm-hmm.
go. Tim says, "Can we call? You can call in. Do I have? Let me put the Phil will be here in a little bit. Who the fuck is calling me, man? 1 second. Who the fuck
Mm-hmm.
did that? Who is this? Oh man, I don't know. Phil will be here. Let me put the call. You can call in, and when he comes, we'll play everything and stuff. All right. So
Somebody's trying to reach you, like for real.
I don't understand. People don't realize I'm live right now. Let's put that on there. I
Yep.
put it on there so you can definitely call in. The number is down there, right? Yep.
Yep. There it
781
is.
990 8509. Call in. Phil will be here. He's just running late today. All right. So you can definitely call in. All right. That is the number right there.
Do you think that with like the whole scene over there with Boyd, like I would have thought that when Randall threw the key, they would get the key. Maybe they did not have time to go back, but they would have the keys and they would hide so that they wouldn't have to, Jim wouldn't have to mess with the car to start it. So that's the little things that they could have done better, for sure.
Black Confetti has changed the rules now. He says, Don, if it's aliens, I'll come on live and send you $100. That's a big drop off, but we'll still. I don't. That is you could send it. As for you coming on live, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about. Like, he's like, hey, I'm gonna come on live. Like it's your option. Are you telling me what you're gonna do? I'm gonna be on your channel, so I'm gonna be there. Okay, really. All
Mm,
right. We'll
yeah.
keep it going and everything else, and having fun and all that good stuff. But yeah. So that to me was a little. I liked it, but I didn't like it. Now we got into a
Mhm,
debate about there being a creature outside and everything else and all that good stuff. You know what I
mhm,
mean? But you know, when we looked at it with the Donna thing, I've seen a larger angle. I don't know
mhm,
if that was something special other than a monster, but I'll have to go through that a little bit more.
mhm.
What else dealing with this episode? What else to happen? Now I'm like trying to remember what happened in it because I've done it everything.
uh,
Uh,
so yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, like that scene where we saw them shooting at the monsters.
Yeah,
Nothing happened. I was actually expecting
nothing.
something to happen. All that build up for nothing. But again, like we know by when he put it on the bullet,
He
obviously
didn't
it's
do a
gonna
good
get burned
job at it.
out.
He
And he
didn't
was
really.
touching it too, like you know, he wiped his hands and then he put the bullet with his like, mm,
He didn't really
yeah,
do a good job. He didn't drench it. Like maybe he should have
yeah,
soaked it in it,
or just like pour it
overnight.
in a barrel.
Like the commercials, like
Yeah.
back in the day, like people would put their hand in the commercial in the palm olive and let it
Oh,
soak in it.
yeah.
Like, oh, your hands are so soft. It's been soaking in palm olive. Like maybe soak these bullets in
Mm,
some damn palm olive. Soak it,
yeah.
not a little turkey baster and droppity drop,
Right.
and then stick it in there after you touch it. So do you think that it just don't work, or do you think that it? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be some type of a delayed reaction.
I the way I mean, I wonder if bile, if that is their significance to that. It could have been, um, well, I guess I don't know what else kind of body fluid would there be anywhere. So they maybe had to have something. I don't know if there's any significance to that, but it would be strange for them just to do all that, and the only thing that I'm saying, the only thing that comes out from that creature is those cicadas. Um, I don't know why they would do all that for nothing.
All right, to one, T, T Mayor. We're messing up everyone's name tonight. Is why does Donna have a framed picture of her and her sister? Who takes that on a hunting trip? Donna is the most. All right, so it's a good question. It seems like she does have a picture, but I obviously I can't answer that why she would have that there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's stuff in my car right now that's there, right?
True, true.
I
We
got
all have
shit,
stuff in our cars,
I
right?
got
Like
shit in
weird
my
stuff.
car right now that's
Yeah.
there. If I go on a hunting trip, that's just there. I got a power washer for my rug in the back in my trunk. People would say, "Who takes a power washer or they trip?" That shit there, right now. I'm
Yep.
just saying that I have stuff in my car right now. A whole lot of things that
Yeah.
wouldn't go for certain things. Not saying that's not the case. Not saying that's not the case. You know what I mean? She could have had a picture of her and her sister in the car, and then all of a sudden found the frame there and stuck it in there, right?
Mhm.
There's framed pictures already in that town.
Yeah.
So you could have had a picture of you and your sister, pulled a picture that was a frame and stuck it in there. You know what I
True.
mean? So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying 100%. And I'm not trying to defend Donna here or anything else, but we have seen framed pictures there. You know what I mean? This is not the beauty
Mhm.
shop, barber shop where you gotta put everything on the mirror with some scotch tape. They do have some frames in that.
Mhm.
Motherfucker,
Yeah.
they got motherfucking pancakes every day, a day.
Right?
So they got pancakes
Yeah.
and syrup every day,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and they know somebody there knows how to turn like grain into all that and make it actually taste not like, yeah,
Yeah,
grass.
you know what I mean. So that's just what it be and everything else. People asking me what part of Queens am I in? What you trying? Why you trying to find me or something? It's good with that. Y'all trying to get a little too personal, man. Yeah, but I'm from Flushing. The Flushing or Flushing. It's on the border of Flushing and Kew Gardens. I would say it's around there, but most people consider it Flushing. I would say it's probably on the Kew Gardens side myself. But it's right on the border of both of them. That's where I'm from and everything else. So I again when I look at the situation, and Phil has joined us, has graced us with his presence
Yep.
on a Wednesday.
I've graced you. Yeah, I don't
You
know about
have.
that. I don't know if I'm gracing it. Let me put Elamar on top. Oh, well, sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Oh, I am back. Yeah. The one thing you did forget about this particular episode, Tony, the one thing you haven't talked about yet is we're all gonna die. Oh my god, we're all gonna die. The Reggie of it all.
Was I the only
No.
one who wanted to just like slap him?
Oh,
Like to just shut him up?
we were joking like that scene in Airplane where they all line up and
Oh my god, yeah.
they all like are smacking the
Mhm.
person freaking out on the plane. It should have been something like that. Like I was screaming at the screen to have Tony
Yeah.
show up there and slap and give slap the hell out of Reggie, who was
Mhm.
again giving his all. But as I said the other night, it felt like he was he was performing to the back of the audience, as they say in theater. Like he was like really trying to project, and he definitely broke the fourth wall a couple times looking at the camera. Ding, ding, ding! We're all gonna die.
Yeah, he was terrible. Also, he was ringing the bell like he was in Applebee's and it was someone's birthday.
Tony,
Right.
if you look closely, I don't want to put him on blast, and he can tell me I'm wrong, but if you look closely, you can see the actor that plays Elgin break character for a second and get this look on his face like, oh, that was bad. You guys,
I need to look it up again.
We're gonna have to bring Elgin back on and ask him.
I swear.
But just make him say, "Hey, did that almost make you break?
Did that make you break character a little bit? Like, because it seemed like for a second his face went.
It was just too much. Like I understand.
What are you talking about, Tony? It's not too much. It's not too much.
You know, I know they give you lines like, "I want you to say we're all gonna die," and I want you to be animated about it. And I'm sure that, but when the way you was doing it, bro, it was just too much. Like, oh my God, we're gonna die. Like, if you're gonna do it funny, be Martin Lawrence. Like, I really be funny about it. You gotta have it one or the other. Because if you were trying to make it serious, it was not a serious situation. Again, I would have smacked that man's fucking mouth to the back. It was like Daffy Duck's bill when he gets shooting out and he goes to the back of his head. That's what would have happened to his mouth. If I would have been there and smacked him like, dude, what are you doing? Get back. Yeah. He's sleeping now. Wait, throw some water on his ass.
Yeah, someone give him mushroom tea. I mean,
oh my gosh, right?
Give him something to calm his
butt. The things must have died in the flood, right?
And I don't feel bad for his girl. She was a bitch from the jump. I'm be honest.
They were mean to. They were a little mean to Sarah.
They were mean to Sarah. I like Sarah's my girl. You fucking with Sarah. That's what you did.
And not meaning to go back because I'll crap on Reggie all night, but what someone was asking about the framed picture of Donna, it could mean something. It could be a hint, but more than likely, what you were saying is accurate to the point of if they're getting to the point where these pancakes taste good and they're getting them from grains of what you guys are talking about, and I'm pretty sure there's an arts and craft class where they do picture framing because right. where it takes something and. To your point too, Tony, nobody knows what you have in your car, and when you're going on a road trip, they could have taken that at a rest stop, like one of those big photo booth things together with the two. I don't know if it's a picture of them as younger or more of a modern picture. I can't remember, but
she could have picked it up from her house before they left. Hey, there's a picture of us I like. You want to get that for me? And she grabbed her. Here, take it.
Yeah, because the trip was important for them, or if her sister, I don't know. I can understand it. Yeah. The frame stuff does, but if you're there, idle hands. You gotta do something.
And your sister died, right? You want to kind of like maybe she had that picture with her in hunting equipment. Maybe it's like stuffed there somewhere when they go hunting. Oh, this is where we went, some years ago. We're gonna stuff it there. She has it here. She wants to make it special. Like Kenny's mom had her dad's picture, I think, kind of like on the little altar thingy
to honor her as a way of saying goodbye.
What do I do with this? What? Super chat here that just throwing up there at me.
Don't put it on the screen, but we'll say thank you, Max. We appreciate it.
I do. I would love to put it on the screen, but I don't know if I can because it could be a spoiler. I'm not sure if it is, but the fact that it could be, truly appreciate the super chat. And we have another one. They'll address the character for well, we gotta do it, Max. We do. I appreciate these comments and everything else, and he's paying us. What do we do with Max? I'm going to say, Max. Please, if you want to comment, we would love to have your comments. But if it's anything that could potentially be a spoiler, even though you're paying to drop it, I appreciate you paying to drop it. Please do not, because a lot of people want to watch the episode and not be spoiled whatsoever. You know what? I appreciate it. I do. But it seems like our boy Max
has to be put in the box.
It looks like I don't want him to don't feel bad about it. But we're going to have to put our boy
Sweet
Max.
Pea, to your point, though, I agree with what you're saying there. That
We got to do this. Max, you're in the box.
yeah, that's what. He's in the. I didn't know you had a box visual. That's great. Oh no, I'm in the box. But what Sweet Pea said in the live chat, I agree. I like to say I wouldn't be acting like that person in the box right there, or like Reggie jumping around. Maybe I'm projecting through Reggie, because if I was really in this place, Tony would probably be slapping the shit out of me and telling me to be quiet. Like Tony and Joe would be beating the hell out of me and being like, Phil, just shut up. Because I'd probably be freaking out, and I'm extra, so I'm big like that. But yeah, so I can hear what you're saying, that most people in real life probably would be freaking out, especially when the papers are gone. As no one's re-upped the papers, there's a problem, and no one's using gravity bongs there in Colony House. So there's a smoking issue with going on. I'd be in trouble, and Tony and Elamar and Joe Dirty Locks would be beating the living hell out of me.
Listen, I feel bad. The guy has donated a lot of money, over $40 tonight. Thank you so much. We really want you to stay around, but Max, we can't go with stuff that may spoil things for other people in the show. That's all I'm saying. Have some, you know what I mean? You want to call in some stuff like that and talk or something like that, or spoil less? No, you know what I mean? But we do appreciate you donating and everything else. Our man KP says, Tony, the capital T-O. Are they living in a dream? Is Norse mythology involved? Are the representative of the first people coming to America? Let's go through. Are they living in a dream? Not all of them, but I think that's possible. Norse mythology, not at all, in my opinion. Are the representatives of the first people coming to America? Not at all. I would say that if I had to give credence to any one of these things, I would say it's something about the dream, and that's due to Tabitha. And the last in that scene that they brought up, we're gonna go through the whole Tabitha dream situation and all that and all that. We're gonna go to that, and then we're going to take a look and see if that's the case and everything else. Joe C is saying free Max. Joe C, is that what you're saying? Oh, Joe,
like free Max. That's funny.
Josie. He's saying spoilers. Who cares? We care, man. Don't you know that? You gotta have respect for people in here, and that's what it's that's what it's all about. Respect and everything else. He pays. He can say anything he wants. Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Well, that's good for you to think that, because that is not the case in this place, and that means that you also, my friend, are going in the box.
I love how we give the box the silence it deserves. I need to get some box music.
Let it be known. All right, I am not trying.
We need box music.
I don't want to put everybody in the box. I'm not here for that.
It should be a different kind of music, though, not the scary one, but like a silly one or something.
No, yeah, it's gonna be. I think I got one.
I ain't trying to do it, but you gotta have. If you think that because you pay, you can say whatever you want. That's not true. You can't just pay and say anything you want. You can't pay and disrespect me. You can't pay disrespect Lamar. You can't pay and disrespect Phil. So there's no paying, and that allows you to say what you want and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that have respect for other people in the chat. That's all. Have respect for people, man. It's all having a good time here and everything else and all that. You know what I mean? I would have to keep putting people in the box. All right. And all that good stuff. Again, you can call in 781-990-8509.
We do have a few voicemails in the tank whenever you're ready, Tony.
Let's take one right now.
Okay, this is from our good buddy Jay Hall.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? This is Jay Hall, 612. I'm really pushing back now, Tom. I'm really pushing back against the air in these last two episodes. They're really not making me think there's a big spaceship and everything is high secret technology now. I think the sci-fi just comes in the time travel that they've been doing. I don't think it's aliens, man. I'm gonna stick to it. You know, I'm here for all the smoke, and I'm here for your critiques and for your bashing of me. But also, man, just to give giving your side, man, how you done great, y'all do your thing though. I want to suggest, and I would love to be a guest too, man. But I'd love to suggest, man, that you and some of these other streamers that have different theories get together, man, have a little live stream, and you guys just circle talk and debate your theories, man. I think a couple of y'all got some good ones. You got the alien ones, you on that hill. A couple other ones got some other hills they're ready to die on too. I think y'all should get together, man. I think it'd be great for the subscribers. I think y'all all can benefit from it. If you do it, I'll love an invite, man. But hey, y'all do your thing, man. Appreciate y'all. Great stream.
I think he's trying to act like the Don is like nervous or something. Is that what he's trying to say? Like
I think
I'm
so. I
worried.
think that you're up against the ropes. You're
I'm worried about listen. I am having a dude come on here on Friday, and I respect all theories. Number one, let's get that straight. I respect anyone who comes up with a theory. Number one, I don't know who's right or who's wrong. No one knows. We didn't write the show. The fun thing about the show is to make theories about things and everything else. This is not the Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones community where people try to make you feel stupid because you say so. All right, this is not that. This is if you want to have a theory and come on, please do come on. If you want to have a debate about theories, it could be that. It could just be a talk. It could be a debate. It could be anything that you want.
That's not how you pronounce Boyd's name. It's not Boyd. It's Boyoid. It's like Arya. It's not Arya. It's Arya, you idiot.
That's it. Vanessa put the super chat. Says, I'm looking forward to your live stream with Taron on Friday. I am too. Can't wait to hear his thing. People say it is what it is. As for people, in here trying to say that like my theory is shaky, prove it. Prove that it's wrong. I would say prove it. Prove that everything I've ever said is not what it is. If you can prove it, then prove it. I guarantee you can't, because it is what it is. In the end, this is what it is, man. And you don't have to like it. In the end, this is what it's going to be, and that's it. So we'll see. And again, my when I come up with a theory, it's not what I like in the world. It's what they have told me, and everything else. That's just the way it goes. So I just go by what they have told me and everything else. So I'm showing all that. Again, you call in anytime you want and everything. We have another one, Phil?
Yeah, we got a few more. This is from area code 416.
Hey, Tony, it's Richard from Toronto. Regarding that face that you zoomed in on, that Donna was looking at from the trailer.
Yep.
In that frame, in that scene, there's two monsters on the left side. They're kind of camouflaged with the tree, whitish. But so there's three in total. One's in the middle that you zoomed in on, but there's two on the right that you didn't seem to mention. I don't think. So it doesn't seem like there is any significance. The next time she took a look out the window, there was more monsters. But I mean, yeah, you didn't mention the fact there's more monsters. All right.
So yes, when I looked at it, I didn't see the two monsters on the left. I did go back and I did look, and you're 100% right. There is monsters on the left of there. So it quite possibly can be someone that I didn't see and not just someone out there. So
right.
I
So it's maybe
agree
just a few of the nightmare creatures that just happen to be standing.
Yes, it looked like it was just that one creature. That's why I thought, I was like, hey, who is this person here?
In the
And then
shadow
monster
looked like
there.
Victor. So I auto-corrected my mind to Victor's sister, because I do think Victor's sister probably is alive somewhere, but she's maybe Slimy Sally. I don't know what we're calling
Slimy Sally.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the hair behind the bars that was playing bowling with the Jenga early.
And she didn't age or
right. That's why I'm thinking is Victor's sister at this point. But
no doubt. Yeah, I looked at it. I didn't see that, and then when I zoomed in and people brought it to my attention, I seen it 100%. So I would have to agree that most likely it was just a monster, not anything else. When I thought it was the one person, then that's what I thought. But when I didn't see that, when I seen the bigger thing and I seen other people there, then 100%, it's most likely that it's nothing more than just creatures being out there. But it was suspect the way they did that with Donna and from the beginning and everything. But yeah, I agree 100%. That's what it is.
Area code 336. Yeah, Slimy Sally, John Namick. I don't know what else to call her.
Hello, this is Jamie 336. Hope everybody is doing well. All right, for me, I am stuck on the melody where it says unless you stop the melody. I'm wondering if it is the literal melody from the music box. If it is the music box, then if Boyd is going to retrieve the original music box, would that music box have been from when he was with Martin? And if it's that, his whole interaction with Martin, was that partially an hallucination? I'm just wondering, because if it's an hallucination or a dream, perhaps, then can he take the box from the dream? I don't know, but that's if it's the literal melody. If it's not the literal melody, then which melody are we talking about?
Interesting.
So that's my question. Thank you.
Great question and great thoughts there. I was thinking a lot about bringing things from the dreams, and if we talked about this in the variation towards Nightmare on Elm Street, and Nancy having the power to be able to bring Freddy out of the dream world to kill him and use his own powers against him, and Kristen, I believe, in the other Dream Warriors use similar stuff in part 3 against him. So I guess there is a theoretical situation where maybe go into the dream and bring out things you would need if you're bringing out bugs too, if that's what's going on. So and for the melody stuff, I'll pass over to you guys because she has some interesting perspectives, but I'm not sure where to go with on that one.
There's a comment here from Ryan. He was saying something about cicadas being the melody. That's kind of interesting too.
Yeah,
it is. I think that we have our
Sound
answer
too.
from the trailer. We have our answer. It's done. So we see in the trailer that Boyd is take Sarah and Kenny to the spot where he was with Martin, and we see them there. The only reason that they all could be there is that he's trying to access that point again, and the only reason I could see him trying to access that point again is because that's where the actual music box was there. Now we've seen Boyd when he was in there pick the music box up, look into it and everything else, and that's probably what got it out. So most likely he's going there to just trying to get back there to destroy that music box, and that would stop the melody. So that's what I would think it means and everything else.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I was wondering about if they can there's a spot they can go to, like you said, or if actually they can go into a dream. But then again, that would be really little, kind of too much like the other movies that we know of. And I don't think they would go with it like that. I mean, for those who have seen the Elm Street, they would be like, oh, we already did see that. That's old.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. Jada's, I saw this in Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, he'll say, and that's how they beat fucking Freddy. Oh God, anyone got any papers? Area code 318.
Good evening, Phil, Tony, LMR, Frumley. Love you guys. I have enjoyed this whole thing so much. I'm going to be so sad when it's over. Really have just been so amazed at this community and all the theories. And it's just been so cool. I really don't have a question. I guess my comment is, what the heck? What is really going to happen with the kids? And
yeah.
The Ankui kids and
Ankui.
Tabitha and Jade and fear Ethan is the new Victor and we're going to lose him. I hope not. I kind of feel like Tabitha's going to end up getting away. And so what does that mean for everybody else? But thanks so much for everything you guys have done. Cannot wait for FrumCon. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Here we go. Thank you. And thank you for your call, 318. We appreciate it. That, and I think we all have that feeling watching this show, this like, what the hell? How do you do? And I think part of what's awesome about mystery box shows is when they can throw you for loops and surprises. And I think this show has some awesome surprises coming in future seasons and hopefully next week as well. We'll zip through because we do have a bunch of voicemails getting. I'm gonna look through them a little bit, but here we go. This is from area code 917.
Hey, Tony. Hey, guys. How's everything? This is Jesse calling from Elmer, Queens. Tony, I called last time live while you were doing solo. I think the cicadas came from Smiley's body. I think he transformed into cicadas, maybe, possibly. And I'm wondering if there's any kind of creatures like equivalent to the night creatures, as scary as them, coming up. Are there different other tiers you think coming up, and maybe in future seasons that'll be even more scarier than the night creatures? That's it for now. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, do you think we'll get more kinds of evil creatures in future seasons that are even more horrifying than the nightmare creatures? Because to your point, LMR, I also have a thing with bugs. So this whole bug thing has been horrifying for me. Like, I'm allergic to people want to kill me. Not that, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but lock me in a room with a bee. A bee will take me down. I'm like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh my gosh.
So it's added to my fear of insects when they're around because of how allergic I am to bees and mosquitoes. Like, I get bit by a
Oh
little
my gosh.
and
Yeah.
my head will get giant and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think there will be horrifying things that are more horrifying than the nightmare creatures, because we heard that from Martin, and I do think they'll expand on that through future seasons.
Yeah, scary stuff with them, with those. I mean, right now, at first we thought, what can be scarier than, creature that can get you at night, right? And now we're proven, yes, it can get you. You can just take a nap and then it will get you. There's no way to hide. You're in your own mind and it can get you. So I wonder what else is there.
All right. RPG says, aliens or not, we have one thing in common. We want the show to be great, period. I agree. I don't have to be right. I am, but I don't have to be. And Max is back. Thank you so much, Max. And he says, your interpretation, guys, a new threat has emerged following Boyd's experience with Martin. However, I'm sure the Boy in White led Boyd to meet Martin. Boy in White is evil. Or did Boyd screwed it with Martin? What do you think? So let's go through this real quick. That is what they say. A new threat has emerged. You know what I mean? So I think I agree, and I've always thought that the Boy in White was evil. I thought that the fact that they gave him the white costume was just a throwaway to make you believe that he was good. But I always believed the Boy in White is evil. Now we see a lot of these kids that these ashy ass kids that need lotion and that are over here messing with Tabitha and everything else. It could be a situation where these kids, this is their revenge. Like, you motherfucking adults have done this to us. You tortured us. You did this. Now it's the revenge time. We're going to get back at all you motherfuckers for doing this to it. And it could be you got to kill these kids in the end. What do you think is going on with the Boy in White and everything else?
Phil, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm so confused about the whole Boy in White thing because we haven't seen him yet this season. So it's hard to get more when you're just getting a whisper campaign with him and when you're talking about people that are talking to him. So I hope that we see the Boy in White in the future season. I mean, I know there's some perspective that it's all in the Boy in White. The Boy in White could be Jacob in this context for you Lost folks. Or some sort of like the mother, or even like Smokey in some ways. So, because Tony said this a couple of times too, the Boy in White, this show breaks with conventions to a certain extent. The fact that he's saying the Boy in White, he seems to be helping. It's hard for me not to get the suspicion through every interaction with him and every mention that he's somehow the cause of all of this, that he's controlling it. They're all playing his game. They're all doing what he needs you to do. He's in the right place, smiling right there. It's more in season 1 where you look out a window and there's the Boy in White.
There he is.
You're like, hey, right. It's very the guy, I can't think of the Jack Shining, like where you see the twins just sitting there. Like there's something scary about him, and there's also something. I'm throwing a lot of comparisons, but I guess that's what I do. Squid Game old man about him too, where it seems like there could be more going on. So my instinct, Elamar, is that there's something hinky with the boy in white. I don't know. What's your take on him?
You know, when we say that we haven't seen him this season, when I was watching this episode, for a second, I looked away and I looked on the screen, and I swear I saw him. It turned out that it was Ethan looking through the by the window. The way he was sitting there in that white shirt, the hair got kind of longer. I'm like, wait a minute, is that Ethan or is that boy in white there? So it was strange, that relationship, and I wonder if why Ethan doesn't mention where is he, what happened to him, or even talking to Victor, like, okay, so I haven't seen that boy in white. I don't know why. Is it something that you experienced, Victor? Is it something he just disappeared on you all of a sudden? So again, no communication there at all.
And I would say the boy in white actor Vox, he was going to come on the channel. We had plans of having him on, but his people, his mom and his people thought that maybe he could say something that he wasn't because he's only 12 years old. So that's the reason why we didn't have him on and everything else. But he was gonna come on. But yeah, obviously, he's 12-year-old. So I agree with that. Let's go through real quick this dream of Tabitha, because I think this dream of Tabitha is really what's key about what's going on in this whole situation. If we can break down this dream, I think we can see how this thing is going to play out and everything else, because I think it shows everything. And now that we have more information about other seasons and everything we've seen, I think it's a little bit easier to see exactly what's going on. So let's show this again. Okay, why is this? Where is it? It's here, right? Is that it? All right, there we go. All right, so let's take it one thing at a time. Right in the beginning here, right? In the first shot of this, we see, and this is how I make my theories, people. So y'all watch and learn. All right, so right in the first, before we see Tabitha, we see Donna outside. She's actually outside of that post office building, writing down exactly how many days until it was a situation going on. But the key thing that I see here is this pole right here, right? And this pole to me looks like a flagpole that's right there. All right. Next, we see Tabitha. She was digging and everything else. And then we see her walking up the steps of this regular, what is at this particular time, the house that she's living in. And we could tell that by the wood that's still on the side. After that, we see a flash of her outside, right? Now she's outside. The sun is shining. There are clouds out there. Try to compare it to the time period of Donna being out here. It looks gloomy when Donna is out here in the beginning, right? It's gloomy. You can see no clouds. It's not blue. You know what I mean? But then when you see her outside, you can see it. They specifically want you to see how blue it is outside this situation, how nice it looks. She looks shocked that she's out there, but she's looking around. She doesn't look nervous that she's there. Again, when it shows a quick flashback of this thing right here, and this is they blur this out right here. But here you could see it does look like some type of pole here, and the building right here does kind of look like the building that we see Donna when she was over here putting the sign. But this building that we see out here from her doesn't look decrepit. The paint looks like it's new and everything else. As we go back, the next scene is her in the lighthouse. So it transitions from her being inside of her house to her being inside of the lighthouse after that. Then it goes to another shot right after her walking up the steps. And we can clearly see if this is the building. This paint is fresh right here. This is fresh blue paint on this motherfucker right here. She's looking around. She's actually looking up and to the right will be your to the left on the screen, but up and to the right. She's looking at something that's up there. You can't see it. It's off screen. And then it pivots to the side, and we can see what looks like. What is this? Like it looks kind of like the box.
Yeah.
Right here. But not the box that we know of it, all beat up and decrepit. It looks like the box brand new. And this looks like it's brand new on her right here. After that, we go up the steps and we stop here at the steps. She notices Ethan's toys, a playing card, and what is this, a potato or a rock or something right next to it, Elamar?
Yeah, it looks like a weird, like an egg or potato. You're
Something
right.
like
It looks
that,
like,
right?
yeah.
Top
What
of a
those-
coconut.
What is
It-
that?
it
A
could be.
lemon?
It's something there. So we know these two things here are Ethan's toys, right? These two finger puppets. When we
Mhm.
look at this playing card, the only thing I can think of
Oh, yeah, it's
playing
a lemon.
card is that Tilly, when she came this season, had a deck of playing cards.
Hmm.
Right? And they were the red playing cards too. So we could say that this is connected to Tilly. Why? We don't know yet. Ethan, and I don't know about this right here. I don't know about the potato, if that is a potato. I can't tell you. She goes up
Yeah.
and right at this particular time, she starts to scream outside, right? She screams that I told you not to leave this stuff on the floor. But
Mhm.
after that, we see that there's a trunk right here that says
Yeah.
dump on it, right? Dump on it, like a dump truck. Try to
Yeah.
enlarge it a little bit right here so you can see
Is that
it
a
better.
that like a ball, like for throwing?
Now looks more like a bowl, you think, right here?
Like from this angle, like the way the shadow is, it looks like the seams.
It does look
I
like
don't
more
know,
of a-
but it didn't look like that before. So it's-
No, it looks like a but this
yeah.
truck definitely says dump on the side of it.
Mhm.
I can't read the top two letters, but it looks like a Fred Sanford like junk truck. It looks like that. On top of that, we see that there's two books on the shelf on top.
Mm.
Well, you can't see exactly what those books are. All right. And then we move forward here. We see her reach down. And when she reaches down, she picks up Ethan's toys and leaves everything else. But in the background here, we can see that there is an ambulance
Mhm.
back here. All right, right in the back. Now remember that when we look at this toy ambulance and everything else, in Victor's room, he has a toy car of the Matthews RV.
Oh.
Right, he has that on the shelf
Hmm.
of the Matthews RV right there. So always keep that in content. So we see the ambulance here, Tilly's card here. She picks up the things for her son. That's what she recognizes. She heads up, and when she heads up, the bottle is here.
Mhm.
And this looks like the bottle. If you look at the trailer, we see that Victor tells her that the way to get to the faraway tree is the way to get to the tower is through the bottle tree. So I think that you have to probably, and we seen the bottle had a bunch of notes in there. I think that could be a system where you whatever you put in the bottle, like
Mm.
say she drew like that picture of that tower that Eloise drew, she'll put in the bottle, and when she does so, that'll transport her to the tower, and that's how she'll get there. Because Victor said, because so the other things that had dates, it's quite possible that's how they got transported to all these dates through that. And again, when she goes down up the steps, we see the bottle fall to the floor, but this bottle doesn't. This is a bottle, and these are concrete steps. Should have broke one
Yep.
step down, but somehow this bottle makes it all the way to the floor. She keeps heading up from this situation. Again, they show her outside of this office with the blue door. And if we look at the other door where Boyd was putting up, we see that same blue, but it was dry. This is brand new blue right there. She keeps heading up and she starts talking because she hears something. And this is when we see these dates in the back of her right here. Again, these dates here could be dates that were inside of those bottles. They could be dates that were inside there. Now, the thing that is special about these dates, there's a lot of things you could put, but one thing that's undeniable is that every one of these dates is on a leap year. Every one of them.
Mm.
There was a leap year on every one of these dates. Now, I could tell you that there were alien abductions or alien activity because they were on all these dates, and y'all could debate it and say you want. But one thing is undeniable is that every one of these dates is a leap year. After that, we see Jim hanging upside down from the top of this place with a light outside of his hand, strapped to his hand, some type of flashlight. And you can see his mouth is closed when it's here. She looks up at him, and he hits her with the light in the face, and it forces her to close her eyes. Then all of a sudden, his eyes and his mouth opens. He screams at her, and then it flashes to the car accident. They go off the road. Again, we get a flash. I paused it right when the first flash came, and it's to the left, and then moves to the middle, and then it moves all the way over. Like it's swinging there, but it's not attached to his hand. He's not holding it. It's swinging that way, right in her face. As if someone took the light and went like this in front of her face, is the way it looks like it's going. Then it goes back, it goes down. You see, and then the light disappears, and then it switches between scenes to the RV going off the road. We see the RV again off the road. After that, we see her with her eyes closed, and it looks like this because this is the dissolve filter from the other place. That's why it looks like that. But her eyes are completely closed at this particular time, and then they open up. It does a flash again to them being inside. This is the inside view now of them inside of the crash. It goes from that, and then we see her wake up. And that's how that whole thing ends. So when I look at this, and I look at this whole situation that we see in here, it has to be a situation where she has to travel back in the time some way where either it's either she's in a coma and she's waking up out of this, and this all shit was just bullshit. Everything we see was bullshit. It's either that, and now she's waking out of the coma because of that accident, put her in a coma, and she dreamed this whole shit up, or she's been transferred back in the time when that place before all this stuff happened. And if you want to say that that's the way it happened, that could be a way where she learned how she gave Victor's mother the bracelet. Like, we don't know how Victor's mother got the same bracelet she has. If she's transported back in the day when it was like that and Victor's mother is there, it could be a way that she got the bracelet. It's going to be one or the other. You know what I mean? One or the other. I'm not exactly sure, but what do y'all think about this whole situation with the tree?
I mean, if she was the one dreaming, I don't know how to account for having separate, like her not knowing about certain things. It would be different if she, let's say, was sleeping there and like she would wake up and she was like, oh, I had this dream and I know this about this person, that about that person, but she doesn't know stuff. And why would they be showing us everybody's separate, like, development, their separate stories where she's not involved, unless they're all sleeping and they're in this, dreaming together, one same dream.
Issues, man.
I'm pleading the fifth on this one, and I'm gonna move on to a voicemail line, and because I don't feel like it's right for me to make a comment about this.
Okay.
So area code 868.
Last single song. From India to when every time I'm going to be sorry for me. People are violent, people are violent, but
I have no idea what the hell.
I don't know what KP is saying right there, Tony.
What the hell did he just say? What was that? You know what I mean? What was all that? I don't know what he said in that whole place.
I mean, I know I want to play it again because I want to hear it again.
They
But
played a shot from India to when the star, everything in green and the free and that. Sorry,
I think we're having somewhat of a tough connection to
Yeah.
understand exactly what KP is saying. But yes, people in the live chat, I can wink to you guys. This is from Instant Financial. That's what came up on the voicemail. Instant Financial.
Hey, what's up, guys? Real happy to see you guys tonight. Awesome to have Tony, Phil, and LMR all together. Josh Waterman calling from 207 up in Maine. Don't have any questions tonight, but really, as we approach the end of the season, just wanted to really give a big shout out to the folks that are on the show weekly. The cast, Tony, Phil, LMR. You guys have really made the experience of watching the show really enjoyable. I think it's added a whole lot to it. I've never gotten to experience a show quite like this. So really appreciate all the effort you guys put in. And the people in the chat really appreciate you as well. Hope this season finale is amazing and hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you so much. I think that, when you're part of a fandom and you have a show that has a fandom, and you have a good fandom like this show seems to have right now, and be the leaders of the pack of this fandom, that you get to experience it like this. And it's not the same when you don't have that, right? So, I've experienced a lot of shows where I liked it, and I guess, I would say we came on during the Game of Thrones era was when we all came on, and that's when you really, find friends and everything else in the chat. And I've said it before, like I have better friends that I've never seen than people I grew up with because of this. You know what I mean? I think so. We appreciate being appreciated. Rebel Eric, he says, do you think the lights flashing in Tavis's face is the paramedics waking him up from the accident? So I think that this is what I'm going to say. Let me put this back up here real quick. I don't think it's a coincidence that we see an ambulance, that they show us an ambulance on the steps. Like when we go back here and they show these cards and they show an ambulance on this step right here on the top. I don't think nothing else here is a throwaway, right? If you say this is Tilly's card and her son's things, the dump truck, I don't know what the dump truck is. You can't tell what the books is, but I don't think it's a coincidence that they had an ambulance on this fucking step. This definitely could be some Shutter Island shit now, without a shadow of a doubt. It could be, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's totally like that. I don't think they would go that route. I think that she's getting transported back into time, back when this area was before they had this stuff there in this area. That's what I think it's going. Yeah. What do y'all think about? Do you think that the flashing light in Tabitha's face could be the paramedics waking him up from the accident? What do you think?
They the beginning of the show, the first episode, when they saw the tree, one of the things that they said was, we're gonna have to go back to a couple miles back where that accident was. They mentioned an accident a couple miles back, and that's where my thoughts were the first season. What if actually they crashed, not where we saw the RV crash, but actually, why would they mention an accident a couple miles back? They might have said, oh, there was a thing, we can just turn around over there. They actually mentioned an accident. So, but my question is, like, why would it be just within the US? Why would it be on the road? Why would everybody see a tree? Everybody's driving, nobody's walking, nobody's on a bike, they're all in vehicles. So it all has to mean something. And I really don't want them to be, like, why would all of them dream or hallucinate the same thing? They cannot be all in the same hospital. There's, Christy and her fiance, they ended up there at different times. Maybe something happened to her on the bus. Why would did everybody die on the bus? That's a big accident. So I really hope it makes sense at some point. Like, I want
I
somebody
do.
to map it out.
If it just becomes like this chick is in a coma the whole time, it's not gonna work for me. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I know people say if it's an alien, it don't work for me. I hear you. I know you're saying, because I feel that way about this. If she's just in a coma, I can't see it. And the reason why I can't see it is that the buildings are so decrepit. That one, I think she's going to wake up back in the day when that town was prosperous before all this stuff happens. And I think that will then explain how Victor's mother gets the bracelet. Like, we've seen it already, and I'm going to explain to you why I think this way. If you watch Lovecraft Country, right? Any of y'all were a fan of that show that got canceled after one season when it should have never got canceled. And call away, yes. We're gonna put that on the screen for you.
There's enough going on in the chat. You have to put one thing on the screen. That
Right.
one.
But I think that if you watch Lovecraft Country, there was a scene in Lovecraft Country where Montrose, who was Tick's uncle, got assaulted by people because he was gay. But he was saved by a man that looked like Jackie Robinson, the man in the city. They gave him a name for it. Well, it turned out when Tick went back in time, he had to go travel back in time. And when he did travel back in time, it turned out that he was the guy who actually saved his uncle from back then.
Yeah.
I think it's a situation like that going on with Tabitha, that Tabitha goes back in time, and at some point she's going to give Victor's mother this bracelet. Whether it's she's friends with her, because obviously if she goes back in time and tells her, oh my God, I was in the future and this is what happens, no one's going to believe her. Her whole thing, you got to remember, Tabitha's thing is that she wants to help the children. Victor's mother said specifically to Victor, I have to go free these children in order for us to get out. Where did she get that information to think that? She got that information from Tabitha back in the day. Tabitha is the one who tells her this and puts her on this journey. And that's how I think it all goes down in the end when we see next season and everything else. Eric Rebel says she wakes up to the milkman.
Oh, that would be terrifying, right? Like she wakes up and it's the monsters that are not monsters yet, and she just starts freaking
people
out.
Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta remember these people right here. These people right here, and that yes, I did drop that mic, Robert. That's right. That's what's gonna happen. I'll do a whole video about it, but I guarantee that's the way it's going to end. That's what we'll see next season. We'll see Tabitha back in the day with Victor's mom and young Victor and young Victor's sister and everything else like that. That's what's going to happen. That's what I feel like is going to happen and everything else. And two grown views like, why you dry tell? I can't tell you what's going to happen next season. Next season ain't come out yet. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think is going to happen. And it's going to end up being alien technology and aliens in the end too. Guaranteed that's what it's going to be. I'm telling you, it's what's going to be. That next year, you won't know until next year, but that's what it's going to be next year. And that's the way. He said not me. All right, I feel you.
We got another message from KP. I'm just reading the transcript of this one.
So Tony, LMR, what's going on? LMR, you look lovely today. I don't know why you're amongst these two degenerates, but listen, a broken clock, right? Anyways, first of all, who is that lady with that? Yeah, I want to go and do that. Where I get my yard again? She chatting her wake. That it make my blood burn. See me? It make my blood burn. See me?
I love KP.
Did he said make my blood burn, right?
Yeah, making the blood burn.
Makes his blood burn. What, seeing LMR with us? Is that what he's saying? Is making his blood burn?
No, I don't think he said that.
He has a question at the end, so
He
said,
did call us degenerates.
You did.
Bumbleclot, man. Bumbleclot.
You did. Do you think wherever from is where the village is physically is connected to the world, or do you think it's computer simulation? That's he asked for our real opinion on that one. I think it's actually somewhere in the world. I don't think it's like a holodeck or something like that.
No, it's real in the world, and I'm telling you what's going on and everything else. It's real in the world. It's them being transported. That fucking bottle tree, whatever you want to say, bottle tree that's transporting people. That's a teleportation device, a wormhole. If you go through it all, and you have to explain, this is what it is, right? How does all these people end up in the same spot at the same time? How can people travel through time, right? Let's explain it. What are y'all gonna say in the chat, all you people? It's magic, Tony. That's why it could happen. It's magic, Tony. That's why I could. That's a cop-out. There's only one way to truly explain it. One thing that does both of those things, and that is a wormhole. A wormhole can transport you through time. A wormhole could bring you from anywhere else and put you in that area. It's the only thing that explains it that makes sense. You can't just say magic. Magic is just a cop-out. And that's just the bottom line.
Wizards did it, Tony. It was Wizard. A wizard did it.
That's how you get out of anything when you don't have anything to say. Magic. Oh, magic. Okay. Magic. Only thing that makes sense here in a show that is called science fiction horror show that's classified as is that it's some type of wormhole technology that's pushing people backwards and forward in time. And I think she's going to go back in time when it's all said and done.
RC, we love your super chat, RC.
We do, RC. Again, we looked at the IMDb, did we not, Phil?
I believe so, yes.
We did, and we seen that there was actors. Do I have to pull it up again for y'all real quick? I will do it.
Let me see. While you're doing that, let me get to area code 413.
Hi, this is Tia calling from Queens. And the question I have is, I'm wondering if the worms that Boyd had in his body that he put into Smiley, if they were in fact larvae or, worms for the cicadas. And that is why the cicadas were there, because they hatched or evolved into the cicadas.
Yeah, it could have been a Pokemon evolution where the bloodworm, you have evolved into cicadas. But it very well could have been that, and or some sort of eggs were laid of some sort if it's more organic in some ways. I definitely thought something similar. That's a good call, caller.
The way they were swimming, I mean, we did see them being a couple inches, right? We did see them kind of swim around there. And when he put his hand on Smiley's neck, it's not like we could, at least I did not see, like, his whole arm did not, flood. We did not see that transfer. So it's more, I think, more of a like symbolic thing where not technically symbolic because it was transfer, but it's not like they were jumping out from his hand. So I think it's more of a like infection. And what he saw was, again, he did see it at first, then they all saw it, but technically if something is swimming in his arm, the tissue would be separating, he would be sore after it. So I don't think it was exactly like, oh, there's something literally swimming here. It's more a representation of it, which was small enough to be transferred through blood. He didn't say my worms are your worms, he said my blood is your blood. So
I'm giving you worms, motherfucker. He didn't say that. It was
right.
like, I mean, that would have been a good riff on it.
Yeah,
yeah.
We're gonna, because we're gonna go through it real quick. I think is this one? This one. All right, let's share this real quick because we did this before. So let's go through it real quick with y'all. This is for episode 10, season 2. It's up on IMDb, so it can't be considered a spoiler or anything like that. Again, when we look at the genre, Phil, can you see the genre?
It says drama, horror, mystery, sci-fi, thriller.
Do you see fantasy in anywhere of those words?
No, I do not.
We do not. We have seen the drama in the show, have we not, Phil?
I felt dramatic. We got that guy screaming at the camera last week. We're all
Very
out.
dramatic.
That's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, all right. Have we seen Elamar? Have we seen horror in this?
Oh,
show?
definitely. I love that.
Scene. You could say
Yeah.
Reggie, that was fucking horrible. But
Let's go through. Have we seen mystery?
it's a mystery how that guy got cast. No, I'm kidding.
Have we seen a thrilling times in the show?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're
But
thrilled.
have we yet to see the sci-fi?
Let's see.
Sci-fi.
No.
Not
Anyone? No.
Yeah,
I mean-
right. So
Well, the fact that it's actually happening, but that's up for debate. But meaning, if they're saying sci-fi, they're not saying fantasy of any kind. It's not a
I
fantasy.
know someone said, let's put that up there. Someone said, "Oh, they don't mean that. They're just trolling."
Or I guess some of the sci-fi is the fact that when Jim does his Professor MacGyver magic with science with technology, that's a little Geordie or Scotty, like, I'm going to take the quantum physics thing and take a radio and turn this thing into the but I'm kidding. But for real sci-fi, not really. We haven't seen that element of it yet, unless you want to go to what I think is true of everything. I'm not saying I don't agree with aliens. I'm very much like water. I just want a good show, and I don't. However it ends up is however it ends up. But one thing I think you're 100% correct on, Tony, is that the faraway trees are warping technology. It's Jeff Goldblum, The Fly, Star Trek, like a warping thing.
You're saying that it's not a magical tree taking.
You're right. It's not a magical tree. It's a science tree that's controlled on some sort of random number generator that sends you to different places. I don't believe the trees are magic fantasy trees. I think the trees are very much science fiction. So I'd say that's our science fiction so far. The tree.
Right. So let's go through the cast for this episode 10, and I was here again. If you want to say IMDb is not real, whatever. We have Harold is in episode 10. We have Boyd. We have Tabitha. We have Jim. We have Jade. We have Donna. We have Victor. We have Kenny. We have Christy, Fatima, Ellis. Now, doesn't mean these people ain't gonna die this episode. It's gonna show them. When Smile Monster died that episode, they still had them listed on the cast. So just because we see their name here doesn't mean they're not dead. You know what I mean? So we could have Julie here and she could still be dead. We have Sarah, we have Julie, we have Ethan, and we have Tai Chan in the building, right? As we go down, we see Tilly, Bata, Marie, Randall, Elgin, Abby makes another return, right? So she was in last episode, and here we have Abby returning again for this upcoming episode. The two episodes she's in. I hope they don't do the same thing they did with her already. We have Dale making his return. Matthias. Who is Matthias? Who the hell is that? I don't know who Matthias is.
Not Duck Dynasty.
I don't know who that is, Matthias. Reggie is back.
Of course.
And then we have Tom.
And they're all
we have Tom, the bartender.
Yeah.
Is back from the dead. It shows here again, Ghastly Child, Ghoulish Child, Child's 5.
Oh, that other dude is the dude with the gun helping Donna that pushed back on Jim, that bodied up Jim when he tried to leave the house.
Okay. All right. We have Ghoulish Child 7, Ghoulish Child 2, Ghoulish Child 3, Ghoulish Child 4, and then Ghoulish Child 6. The boy in
what
white.
about Ghoulish Child 5?
They have him. Ellie.
Oh, okay, he's first.
He's not in order. Is it in order of appearance?
Yeah, maybe. It screwed up. It wasn't sequential, so it screwed me up. Sorry.
Then we have the boy in white, and then we have the nurse, whoever the nurse is, Anthony L. Jackson, and then Dr. Brody.
Dr. Brody. Like Marcus Brody? Does this cross over into the Indiana Jones universe and it's Marcus Brody? It could be possible. This could be a precursor to the new Indiana Jones movie. It is possible. So this does look like a really fun, big episode that I just can't wait.
It does. It looks like there's a lot going on this episode. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who the nurse is, and I don't know who Dr. Brody is. I don't know
Could
why
be the
Tom
people
comes back. I don't know any
Your
of these.
Brody
running the experiment.
They could be like in that she
Yeah.
could reach a level inside of that place where they're sitting there and they start talking to her like, "Oh, you found this out."
Vince Harper auditioned for Ghoulish Children #5, no success. I mean, Vince, I'm always rooting for you because if Vince makes it, we all make it.
Or if you want to say that she's in a coma and she's waking up, then there you have it.
Marcus Welby, MD.
Right. And everything. There
Do we
you
know
have
how
it.
long the episode will be?
I think it's
do
a
not.
normal.
Does it say?
I think it's a normal length.
Okay.
That's what she said. Pause. No,
Mhm.
but I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the normal length.
That's not a good thing to hear.
No, definitely not. It's fine.
That's not good.
The episode length is fine, Tony. It's
That
fine.
is not, she says that's the normal length. I'm like, hey,
Fine.
hey.
What isn't the normal? I don't know how to transition this into the voice of 916. Everybody.
Hello, this is the voice at 916.
Oh, yes, it
Hello,
is.
Tony. Hello, Phil. Hello, lovely LMR. Hope all are doing well. Now that we've seen the pictures from
Again, you and I aren't lovely, Tony. We're just the.
There's a lot of things I like to be called, but lovely is not one of
Lovely.
them.
Okay.
So I'm cool with.
I
not
don't
being-
mind being called lovely. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
do
kidding.
not.
They're
Sexy,
doing well.
manly.
Now
no.
that we've seen the pictures from episode 10, I thought it was very interesting that we saw a picture of Jade with a ball of string before he goes into the caves. And it kind of put into mind the Greek mythology of the Minotaur, where the hero goes into the maze with a ball of string so he could find his way out. My question is, in those photos, we see Jade actually in the cave, and there are the 7 children. Now, there's one shot that he looks up, and he has this really amazed look on his face. Excuse me, allergies. Do you think possibly he's seeing that red figure that we've all been wondering where it is? Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks again. And Phil, you look very handsome, clean face like that. Peace and stay sexy.
There it is. There it is. Phil, very, very handsome with the clean face.
Well, thank you. It's like Wolfman though. Like I just shaved today, and this is already back. So it's hard not to just grow the beard in a day.
So it's like stream for 4 hours from the beginning. When you shave, it's going to be like all dark.
That would actually be a
4 hours
fun
later.
charity 24-hour stream and watch it would look like a week for most
There
other
should be a
people.
stream like that, right?
Yeah, the face growing stream.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And good as always. Let's get to this other call so we make sure we get through everyone's calls tonight. This is from area code 404.
Peace and wellness. Feel the issues guy, Tony Teflon and LMR. This is Real Enigmas and Theories sequence. So yeah, as far as theories go, I think that we are just having just a lot of fun, just trying to figure out what's going on with the show. And, it's no hate at all. Like, it's fun to, call out people's theories for being weak or whatever, and you feel like your theory's strong. It's all fun. But yeah, ain't no shame or no hate or nothing like that. We all out here to have a good time. Peace.
Absolutely. Great call. It's all about having fun and all about making sure that everyone feels awesome, throwing out whatever you want there. And at the end of the day, we're even having fun with it with Tony's having fun with the whole alien thing. He's strong to it, but if it's not aliens, he's going to eat the 1 chip challenge.
I will.
I don't know you guys. Like
I am positive I'm not going to have to eat it, but I will.
But if it happens, you're going to eat the damn chip.
I guarantee I will. It's not going to happen. Let's put this on the screen. She brought it up. So yeah, we do have Jade. Here's a picture of him from this episode tying a string to the tree. So we can obviously see what his plan is to use the string to map his way back out.
Wow.
So he can get out. So he's definitely going inside of the cave. And then this is the picture that she's talking about right here. We see Jade.
Those bodies kind of look
goodness.
like, and those bodies kind of look like what attacked Elgin a little bit.
Those are. It looks like the children. I didn't think about that, but they look like they're dressed like all the children that
Mm-hmm.
she keeps seeing.
Yeah, no, as well. They look like just something about the lankiness of them that reminded me on first image, because I haven't seen this yet. That of what was pushing Elgin under, but you're right. They look look more like children.
Yeah. And he's looking up. I wonder what he's looking up at.
Bizarro Fatima.
Huh.
Yeah.
He's looking directly up, like there's something
Yeah.
up there. So it's either one or two things. It most likely when we seeing him up, you know what I mean? He's always sees that image somehow. That usually that's what it is. The symbol.
That's a very alien kind of setup too. Even the way he's looking up, it looks like he's looking up at a. And I'm
Now,
not
do you think he's found the actual bodies of these children, or do you think this is just a hallucination?
I think it's a hallucination. I think realistically, what he's looking up at is the symbol. Like is the camera's going to pan around? He's going to see a giant symbol over this. That's the symbol over this setup. Well, at least that was probably my honest opinion of what I think.
Do you know how many different symbols there are? Because it's not just one symbol, right? There are a couple different variations
I
of
think
that.
the talismans are different. Like each talisman is different. As for the symbol, I think it's two that he sees. I think it's two symbols that they look the same, but it's two.
I can't tell if it's two different symbols or it's two different artists that are drawing it, or the guy that does the drawings is trying to make it look like two different people doing it, so there's not as much synergy with every drawing of it that you see. Because I'm not quite sure. We have a voicemail from 856. This is their first time caller. It's a longer message, so feel free to stop. We're going to stop and start a little bit, but thank you so much for calling on in, Coco, for the first time caller.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Phil. Hey, LMR. This is Coco. This is my very first time giving a call. I'm actually watching your stream right now, and there's something that I did want to mention about some thoughts that I have about the Matthews family that you're actually talking about right this second, but I had to mute you, so I have no idea what you're talking about now. But I have a strong feeling that the accident that they referred to in season 1, episode 1, was like a real accident. And I feel like the fact that Tabitha kept screaming about a switchback, that's been stuck in my head since like day one. I Googled it. It's like a trail, or like on the mountain, or a trail, you know. It could even be like railroad tracks, which we saw at some point also. And I feel like that the accident happened somewhere around like a trail or a national park or something like that. Some of the reasons why I think that is because of the switchback, 2, the Ethan with his walking stick constantly trying to go on little journeys and adventures, the RV, and then also there was this random sign behind Jade in one of the episodes. I think it was the one where he saw the puppet for the very first time. There's this little like random style sign behind him that says outdoors, and it has like a picture of people hiking, like someone made this, and like fishing and this, that, and the other. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they are tethered, to refer back to the show Tethered. I feel like, or the episode Tethered, my bad, that they're tethered between Farmville and the real like waking world, and that they just, I mean, it could still be like a supernatural type of thing, or the whole sci-fi situation with like technology and everything like that, but I definitely feel like there's something going on with their consciousness being tethered between the real life waking world and Farmville. And it could be different scenarios for everybody who's there, but for specifically the Matthews family, I feel like their entrance into Farmville and the reason for them being tethered there is their accident. Excuse me. All right. around like a really long time. So
No,
it was
no.
great talking to you guys. It's great watching you guys.
Honestly, I must say this, and I'm going to say this. We always prefer calls that are like around a minute long or ideal. And I was planning on pausing that during the call, but that was just such a good, awesome call. I just sat back and I listened to the Coco show for a little bit, and way to go, Coco. We do encourage calls around topping a minute, 0 to a minute and a half, but for a longer message, I was engaged. Coco, great first call. And
It really was. It was a good
Very
one.
nice hearing from you.
She's getting a little nervous, but she got herself together and
Yeah.
she did a really good job. And listen, Coco, we know Harold was in Fame, was his first TV show he ever got in, and there was the star of that TV show was a girl named Coco, right? So that's who it is. So
I had to let Coco keep going there. I couldn't stop Coco right there. You know?
I would say that I agree with a lot of things that she's saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of things I do.
And but Coco, start a podcast. I'd listen.
Beautiful voice too, I gotta say. It was very nice to listen. Very nice talking voice.
I agree with that. And this is area code had me engaged, had me hooked. Area code 256.
Hey, it's Michael from Alabama.
Welcome,
Love
Michael.
the stream, guys. Love the stream. Real quickly, Tilly, everybody says something's up with her. Tell Fatima, well, I know I've had 4 children and 7 grandchildren, and on the radio playing the music box was 47. Do you guys think there's any possible connection with that? Thank you. Appreciate you.
Tony mentioned this. Great call as well, Michael from Alabama. Tony mentioned this the other night on our recap show with the 4 and 4-7. I just think Tilly's shady in general, and I was going off about Tilly. And then Tony, you got on this numbers thing with the 47 stuff. So
it seems weird that they would do it if it didn't mean anything. Again, we just look at the picture. And it had the playing card there, and the playing card, only one we see with the playing card in the show is Tilly. So Tilly is either a mole or a nurse, and Tabitha's in a coma, waking up, and Tilly's a part of it. And maybe Tilly played cards with her, or she's in a psychiatric ward, Tabitha, and Tilly was her nurse who played cards with her. Somehow that card is significant. That's why they put it in season 1. And then we see Tilly over here playing cards in season 2. So are we looking at seeing like a Shutter Island type situation? Is that what we're going to? Because that's what it seems like they're trying to lay out. But if they just did that, then I think it would be a little bit suspect. That's why I think that in order for it not to be that, she has to travel back in the time.
Yeah. And I think Dr. Deb also mentions 7 children here laid out like this. And for Tilly to be mentioning all that stuff and just being I don't remember her holding the cards. That part I did miss. But cards is there can be magic tricks, so-called magic tricks with cards, but basically you have to know your cards really well. There's no magic at all involved. It just seems like magic, but it's very much calculative
sleight of
move.
hand.
Yeah.
iTitan says maybe each talisman gets its power from a sacrificed child. How many talismans are there? It's 12 or so.
Yeah, I think there were more than 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been more sacrificed children than 7, but maybe could be it. Maybe it's the blood of the child.
Yeah, I think we found another place for Craster's kids, really. Area code. Oh, wait, here's let's play a few more seconds from for another message from KP.
Fellas, listen, I need to clarify some things because Craig, you wasn't hearing me too well before, so listen. The song I was singing just now was Taliban's by Messiah, by Byron Messiah. It is the biggest song in the whole world. And the guy lives up the street from me. And it's fire. It's taken over New York. I can't believe you don't know it, Tony. Hi, Lamar. Hope you're well. Phil, listen. Maybe might want to say about cutting the hair. I don't know if Tony, I think I disagree with you. I think it is, I can't, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up to me that this from Will could actually be a physical part of the world. And you could actually, if you know the way, you can actually get into and out of it. If you have the sufficient knowledge. I think it is a world that exists outside of time and space, whether it's a computer simulation, another dimension, or something, has to be, because like when people come into the villages after they see that tree, there's no way back. And if there was, if it was connected.
Just let me know when you want to start.
Let me stop right here because let me get on this cat real quick.
Good message, KP. I'm sorry.
So he's trying to say that he doesn't feel like it could be a wormhole and everything else. Let's go through it real quick. If the tree that we see is laying on the floor is actually a wormhole device, is actually, let's just say, a far away tree that's blocking the road, then it's pretty easy to see exactly that when you see that tree and everyone sees the tree, that's how they would get transported and stuck in this loop. As for, he said in there that it could be an alternate dimension situation. Well, that is how you get to alternate dimensions. It is said in Einstein's exact theory about wormholes, and what he used to explain this was that you would go into a sink and go down the pipe. And then when you come up out the pipe, you'd be in the same exact pipe, but you would be in an alternate reality, right? Wormholes also go through space and time. They travel through it. So you would be able to do all these things. So everything that you said that could be done, if you're looking at a reason why it could be done, it's all explained by wormhole technology. We hear Jade in the show bring up Einstein and Rosen. He says their names specifically when he's trying to suss out exactly everything that's going on with them. But he doesn't put them in there and realize and start talking about the bridge itself. So in the end, to me, this is what I think it's going to be. And we'll see how it goes when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it, and I do agree with you in the sense, especially about the faraway tree, that the trees that they see are somehow connected to the same technology used in the faraway trees. That once you see that tree, you're already fucked. There's no getting out of the loop. People that always say, "Oh, just move the trees, go back and find the trees," and I've asked this question a few times, and I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and watch last season, and I haven't since the beginning of this season. When Boyd and Sarah are going on their pilgrimage, do they pass the trees? Do we ever actually see the trees again? Or every time people try to get back to that, that's when they go on the loop like the Matthews do? Can you even get back to that area? Or do you see that just, is that like the entrance area and you can never actually see those blocking trees again? So I don't think we've seen them again, but I'm going to watch back last season to see.
That's a great thing. I've never thought about it in the terms that you said. What you just said made me think, okay, so this is like the end. There's no going past the tree, right? So whatever happened, I never thought of it like that. Whatever happened to them, they got there before they saw the tree.
Yeah, right before they saw the tree. And that's sort of like the entrance point of the park.
Yeah.
Or not the park, but
so they're like at the entrance where you cannot leave. You cannot get past it and you are already stuck. That is I never thought of it like that. Like whatever happened, whatever got them there, the tree didn't get them there. Well, they got there before they saw the tree because they're stuck.
Once you see the
tree, they cannot go past the tree.
Yeah, it's like that boy, the movie when the mobsters lock. Now you can't leave. Like once you see that, you can't.
it's not like they passed the tree, went behind like a curve, and then like, you know what, let's go back, and there's no tree, and they keep going and going. There's no such a thing. They're literally stuck. That is such a cool. I did not think of it like that.
Yeah, I mean, and
Makes you
obviously
wonder.
obviously that might not be the case, but
Yeah.
that's how I look at the situation.
Mhm.
Anyways, I'll listen to a little bit of
Yep.
KP's message before Tony gets back here.
Somehow to the rest of the world, then I don't care who you are, where you're from, what's your name. As long as you keep walking straight, you'll eventually reach somewhere. But it seems there that it obviously from the time they get to a particular, from the time they get to
And talking about escaping, like talking about walking. That, do you think there's any further that they could go? Like when Sarah and Boyd went out last time, they got stopped essentially. You know, it got too heavy, so the boy and white had to guide them into a tree. Could you eventually just keep going and find your way out of this place?
You know, when you mentioned it like that, and when KP mentioned it like that, it got me thinking about like walking in a straight line. There's a book that I read when I was a teen. It was about a world that was actually inside our Earth, like the hollow, like inside Earth was basically people were walking inside it. They didn't know where they were.
Yeah, and
but they were just like, if you would walk, you would literally end up where you were. There was no way out. Well, technically there was, but they didn't know that. They had to find like tunnels and whatnot. But they literally lived in an area where they couldn't leave. They thought they couldn't leave because everywhere would lead them back to
Yeah, it's
where
like a
they
double-sided turnstile that
Yes.
you're just going all the way through.
Yeah.
I imagine that like
Yeah.
like a escalator that's just up
Kind of
and
like
down
it
and
just,
up.
you know, you walk, you don't see anything up there, you don't see what's up there, but basically if you walk all the way up there, you're literally above yourself or wherever you were before.
As ESO in the live chat, the boy in white tricked Boyd and Sarah before they got to the tower. He is evil. And I saw a couple of other people say the boy in white is good. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I don't know if both can be true at the same time. I think he could be a gray character that's just acting for his own selfish interest or his own amusement. And if he helps in some situations, he helps in some situations. If he hurts in other situations.
How has he helped though? Let's go through it. What
Did he
has he
save
done?
Boyd's life in that moment, putting him in that tree?
How do we know that?
I'm asking the question. I'm saying, did he?
Let's look at what was going on. Boyd was about to reach the watchtower, right? He's about to get there. If he kept going, he would have reached it.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it starts raining. Sarah says, "Oh, it looks like the place is mad." He agrees with her and says, "Sarah, you're right. This place is mad. Get in there and you'll be free, and you'll be safe."
Right.
Doesn't say Boyd's gonna be safe. He
No, he
says
says
that
Sarah's
she's
gonna be
gonna
safe, yep.
right? And then she winds up back in town, but Boyd winds up inside of the well.
Inside the torture chamber, essentially.
Right.
Right.
When I look at this whole situation,
Did he help Victor?
How?
Victor
He kept him alive?
Again, I'm just throwing this out there of the answers. I'm actually reiterating someone in the chat said this. He theoretically kept Victor alive for all those years by guiding him to hide from the monsters properly.
There were no monsters though.
Maybe there were. Something had to kill all those people.
There was that guy. The guy went crazy and them.
But maybe other people were already being killed too. We don't know exactly what was happening back then.
Let's take what Randall said. Literally, he said specifically, "Did you see these monsters kill these people?" Right? That's what Randall says. We don't see anyone kill those people. We see Victor as a kid come out of the bunker and everyone's dead. And then the boy in white is what we see walking down the block. Not monsters, not nothing else. You have no idea if the boy in white did that to those people. And then he waves to Victor, "Come here, come here, come here," and then disappears.
Right.
But we don't know if the
we
boy
don't
in
know if
white
he
was
did
the
that.
one.
We don't know if Christopher. What I'm saying is we don't know. I think to something you said earlier that I would love to see, whether it happens or not. somebody traveling to a past version of this town and us actually getting to see those things for real. I guess what I'm saying is we just don't know yet. You absolutely could be right. Other stuff could have happened. The monsters could have been, there could have been another creature stalking them. I'm saying there's a possibility that the boy in white helped Victor if we're to believe, if we're to believe Victor for face value. Has he helped Ethan?
Victor doesn't say the boy in white helped him. He just says that he thought he imagined him, and he wasn't sure that he actually seen him until someone else.
Did he help Ethan? I can't remember.
No.
No, during when they were running away from the colony house, I think Victor just said, "Let's follow him." Something for whatever reason, he knows the way out or something like that.
No,
not way out. Whatever he said.
When he was down there, he said that the boy in white told me that you'd be here, and for me to wait for you.
And just for the record, earlier in this podcast, and I hold to it, I'm firm believer that the boy in white is evil, but I'm just offering up the alternate perspective of has he actually helped? All these situations that we think that he could have helped, or did he help? Did he actually help? Is there any situation we can think about where he did help a character other than Sarah, the person that murdered?
Not exactly, because technically, even all those situations, even when he was rescuing Julie, pointing to Julie and to Victor, they could have ran. They could just outrun the monsters. Technically, we know that because people did that. They were running and hiding. So Victor could have, been running. Ellis could not have been running because he was injured. But and the same thing goes for Boyd. They were already there. Yes, it was nighttime, but they have not seen those creatures there. So technically, I don't think they were in danger. It's just that it was getting dark, but there was no impending danger at the moment. So it's that fear of, oh no, darkness and monsters. Let's hide. And then they end up where they end up. They did not end up together. Sarah was in in the basement, but Boyd ended up in that well.
No, Star. I was just doing
he said Sarah, you'll be safe. He didn't say nothing about Boyd being safe. And as Karen is saying, I would not trust the boy in white. I think he sent Boyd there to free the worms. He could have.
Excellent point, Taryn.
It could have been the boy in white who dropped the rope down to him.
He could be the one fucking with Martin. He could be doing everything. He could be our overseer creature, that is or as you've
referred to. It could be that red blob that you see. It could be the boy in white.
Or what you've referred to many times as the fifth dimensional creature. Could be the boy in white.
Again, fourth dimension.
Fourth dimension.
And I do believe that we are dealing with people in the fourth dimension. And I believe that. And he could be.
I'm taking it a step further to the.
He could be the fourth dimensional being. That red form of him could be what he really looks like. Again, we've seen all these monsters have different forms that look like good forms, but in the end, they're bad forms. If you take that to the boy in white, he looks like he's a good form. We have not seen the bad form of him yet, but it doesn't mean he's not a bad form. We have to look at what's happened to these kids. These kids have been tortured and everything else. This could be the kid's revenge right now, and everything else. These little Akui people could be his people. It could be his army, and we're going to get back at these humans for doing all this bullshit to us.
His Akui army. I like that. This is from our area code 240.
This is Bodega Buds calling from New York. Love the show, Tony and Phil, the Issues guy. I just wanted to mention something. I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but during the autopsy episode, when the nurse made the first incision and the monster flinched, to the left of the monster's hand, he dropped a bloody tooth. So I wanted to know if y'all peeped that.
I missed that.
And if so, if not, what's your thoughts on that?
He dropped a bloody tooth?
He says he dropped a bloody tooth. I missed that completely.
The monster had a tooth in his hand? And he dropped it?
And he dropped it? Interesting.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, we'll talk about this on Sunday's show.
Did anybody else in the chat catch that the monster dropped the tooth? Because if people go back in there, take a look right now. Go in there and see. She would say, yeah, it's fact. He did drop a tooth.
He dropped a tooth. Oh.
Smiley's the tooth fairy people.
They're hawking over there. They're gonna leave some money for Smiley. We got another message from the voice of 916.
Hello, this is the voice at 916 calling back again. Thank you for showing the photo of the question I was asking about. But as I'm looking at the shot where Jade is looking up, I'm also looking down at the children, and I'm wondering, they look a lot like Martin looked when he was chained up. Do you think that those children might have been used in the same way as Martin? They really do appear that way. Just curious what your thoughts are. And Tony, you are the finest, sexiest man alive. Peace.
You see, listen. Can we play that part over again?
Yeah, it's stuck on a loop. Wait.
Tony, you are the finest, sexiest man alive. Peace and space. You are the finest, sexiest thoughts are. And Tony, you are the finest, sexiest man alive.
Yes,
Phil, you have to send that to separately to Tony.
Yeah, that he needs to sound cue that one and affirmation.
I need to hear that today. I've been having a day, and I truly appreciate whether it's true or not. I truly do.
And this is area code 520.
Hey guys, this is Dimitri from Arizona.
Welcome, Dimitri.
Love the show. Anyways, I just wanted to bring something up I haven't seen mentioned. The creator of the show wrote an episode of the new Twilight Zone called Point of Origin, another way of saying from. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure it was about aliens, but I'll have to rewatch that. Anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. Hope you guys have a good night.
Awesome, Dimitri. I
Thank
never
you so
really
much. And I think it's good that you did bring that up, because it is about aliens. And if you go to other countries, the show is not called From, it is called Origins, to tie into that. So if you go in other countries and look up the show is not called From, the show is called Origin.
And
as for me being handsome, as too good, thank you, I appreciate it. I don't know, I've been single for what, 2-3 years. I don't know if that's exactly true, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Tonight we will. Pause though.
The area code for
Hey, it's Richard from 416. Regarding the boy in white, I think he's definitely evil. I mean, when he was introduced at the end of that episode in season 1 to what the hell's his name? The boy, whatever.
Ethan.
There was the scary music playing in the background, and that may seem trivial, but I mean, like, they weren't presenting him in a way that was actually like benevolent, and when the fact that he's always smiling and he was happy-go-lucky when Victor was around all those dead people, that's not okay. All right, so that definitely has to be interpreted as evil. Okay, that's all.
Yes, thank you. When someone's laughing around a bunch of dead people or smiling, usually that's a sign of being evil.
Again, we have to look at it. We didn't see. I think that the people were killed there by the dude who went crazy, but we didn't see no monsters, no nothing.
But either way, like, even if he was killed by Chris, was that Christopher's last name? Just the fact he was there. Like, if I went into a situation where someone else killed a bunch of people and I was standing there, I'm not sitting there like, hee.
I did. People are like, I don't miss a lot, but I did miss the tooth. I'm trying to think, what does that mean? Who is this tooth from? What tooth is this?
Why Smiley have a tooth?
I'm trying to think of anyone having any type of tooth issues, anything to do with a tooth. What would that have to do? And it was bloody, saying like it was pulled from somebody's mouth. What does that mean, the bloody tooth? I have to really start thinking about
So
that.
he was holding it in his hand, and in his
but
palm, like he kind of like released it.
Like he killed somebody before that and everything else.
Or the bloody tooth controls them somehow, and they have to all. But would that mean that they're when they're walking, they only have one hand because they're always holding a bloody tooth? Or did it just like appear or something? I don't know. It's weird. Was it his own tooth? Yeah. but it's not like he pulled it out or something. Did it fall out of his mouth, or was it like actually falling
Did
out
he
of his
grab himself like by his neck? No, he didn't. I forgot
he
how he died. He just kind of like did the thing and fell, right? I
Yeah.
think.
I have to go back and look and everything else.
Yeah.
and see what that is.
Kramanakal says Christopher didn't do anything. It's Victor's memory mistake. And this is what Tony and I and LMR were talking about a little while ago. That's why we need some sort of true vision or character that somehow travels in time back to the past to play the shitty games on Suckcast. No, to travel back to the past so we can see what was going on during that time period, to see what actually happened with Christopher and Victor, and how much of what Victor's telling us is real and how much is implanted memories from people that have manipulated him, like the boy in white, or his sister from afar, if she's still alive. Who knows? Someone programmed Victor in a way that all of his memories or dreams, he questions whether they're reality or not, and to the point where he closes down when he thinks about this. He's been to work. Someone's done a lot of work on him. It's not just him living alone all those years that's created him in this way. He seems like he's been conditioned, like not Weapon X stuff, like with Logan getting tortured and conditioned. And I don't know. That's the vibe I get from Victor. He's seen some shit that he's blocking.
No, let's say I heard Taryn is here. I've seen people big upping him. Taryn will be here live on Friday to discuss his theory that everyone loves. That is the number one theory on all the Reddit Taryn came up with. And we're going to go through, he's going to go through and explain it to me. I have never heard it on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you come back and listen to that. Going through these comments real quick.
Mary Ellen did not cut my hair, Peter Griffin.
Did Mary Ellen cut your hair?
No.
Mary Ellen be zeking people, son. She be zeking you.
Yeah,
like
Victor,
Mary Ellen cut my hair like that. Like, so Mary Ellen, you getting zeking dudes.
Yeah, she's getting the box for that one. But Quan, thank you so much. I do think, I don't know. If Victor is the mole, he's programmed.
Let me go through. Diane Lavada Blackwood, House Blackwood is in the building. And House Blackwood is saying, Tony, you know you're a good-looking man. Don't act all insecure. I don't know what I am. I don't know that's true. I appreciate you saying that. You know what I mean? And everything else. But you don't know these things. And again, how you feel about yourself is not how the world feels about you, right? That's reality in this whole situation. You can feel any way you want. It doesn't mean other people feel that way. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Again, we're gonna keep it moving and everything else. Besides that and stuff.
Tony, I do have a question for you and for Phil, because I do try to get to listen, and if not listen, to rewatch the shows that when I'm not able to watch it. But I did miss a couple of things, and I wanted to I wonder if you mentioned the sign in the diner. Have you ever talked about that?
The what?
The sign in the diner, like behind the counter. I took a picture of it earlier. There was there's like a blackboard with those white letters that you just may put a menu or like a message. Did you talk about that?
We have not. What does it say?
Okay, it says, and I quote, the first line says, and sings the tunes. Next line says, without the words. Next one says, and never stops at all.
Melody.
And the final one says, forever is composed of nows. And I wondered, I kept
of now?
Of now, like as in NOWS. Nows. And I wonder if you ever talked about it. If not, maybe at some point if you want to look into that. I wonder, because it says, and sings the tunes without the words and never stops at all. Forever is composed of nows. And I was thinking, why would that be in the back of the diner?
So I just put in and sings the tunes, and Google automatically put in without the words. So it has to be some. So I would think it's a song that's called Hope. And it's by Hope. Let me put it up real quick. It's a poem. Hope is the Thing with Feathers. It's by Emily Dickinson.
Oh.
And that's what it says. I'm trying to look at
Mhm.
this whole thing. It says, Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could have bashed the little bird that keeps so many warm. I heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So I would say that that is a song, poem dealing with hope. I think that's what it seems like, and everything else made by Emily Dickinson's Hope is a Thing Without Feathers. I think she means that hope doesn't fly away, doesn't fly by, or anything like that. So that's what it is. Hope, it doesn't ask you for anything. It is what it is. Perches on the soul, is perches in the soul and sings the tune without words and never stops at all. The sweetest in the gale is what's heard.
The never stops at all in the song without words reminds me of the melody with the music box never stopping and having to stop it. If we connect that to the other words that we've heard from the bus driver's childhood poem about to stop the thing, stop the melody, there is some connective tissue with that as well. And Emily Dickinson is a wonderful poet to have in there because she dictates hopelessness and being stuck so well in that context that you wonder who wrote that there in the context of the show.
Yeah, I'm assuming they put that for a reason, but it's interesting that it's in a diner and the music plays there. That's where the radios
No
are.
doubt about it. And so we have two things now we could talk about. We have that was a poem, and then inside of the hospital, right behind where Jade's boy Toby died, they have the poem of the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe above his head when he passed away. And that poem is about what? Grief. It's about dealing with how to deal with grief.
Nevermore.
Person in that song, in that poem, doesn't deal goodly with grief. It's about how you deal, how people deal with grief, right? So you could probably put them both together. All this stuff, again, we spoke to the actors who came on the show. They have said that this set was built from the ground up. So the people who run it, they put everything in there. There's nothing in there by happenstance. They wanted that poem there for a reason and everything else.
Yeah, they designed this place from the ground up. So we'll take a couple more calls. We have a couple more calls and then a couple of finishing thoughts from KP. This is from area code 604, who has a different perspective about the spiders, the worms, the boy, all of this stuff. Thinks I'm being a little foolish, maybe thinking the boy in white is evil.
This is Quan calling from Canada, 604. Anyways, I don't know why y'all think that white boys, spiders, and worms are bad in this show. White boys, spiders, and worms are good. Period. They help the people try to get where they gotta go. I don't see how y'all think the boy in white is evil. The boy in white is good, and if anything, he's a manifestation of Victor, in my opinion. All right? The show is awesome. Love y'all. But yeah, spiders good, worms good, boy in white good. Spiders prey on cicadas. Enjoy the natives. Peace.
All right, so let's go through it real quick. What he said. And appreciate the call, brother. 100%. I don't know if we could say white boys, all the white boys is good. I don't know about that. They don't all seem good to me. You know what I mean? Smiley Monster wasn't good. That goddamn mechanic back there wasn't good. You know what I mean? So all the white boys ain't good. So when we deal with the boy in white himself, all right, there's no evidence that he's good. You said that he was good, but in fact, you gave no proof that he was. In fact, there's nothing put out there saying he was good. As for the I wish Tariq Nasheed heard that. White boy's good. He go crazy. He loses mind right now. And besides that, when we look at the spiders do hunt those animals, just a lot, those insects, but a lot do. Did the spiders do good? I think the spiders cured Boyd's Parkinson. All right, so that's what I think happened, but I don't think they were good, meant to be a good thing. I think they were meant to get his attention. As for what else he said was good,
I think the worms. The worms are
Mm-hmm.
good.
We don't know what the worms that they were good. They were hurting him the whole time. They killed. We got a kill on it and everything else and all that good situation right now. You know what I mean? But I don't know if we could say that the worms are actually good. If they were good, how come when that music started playing in the trailer, the first thing Boyd looked at was his fucking arms to make sure there was no more worms in the fucking arms?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's like, oh shit, worms.
It didn't seem like
I'm
a
good.
good time for
I'm
Martin.
good, boy. I'm good. If they were good, how come he was afraid to pass them off to Ellis and not do the blood transfusion with him?
No,
Yeah.
I mean
I
Martin.
don't think the worms are good. I don't think they're good at all. You know what I mean? I just think that the boy in white is running this whole situation. You know what I mean? And he's the one who's doing all this.
And and the connection, like all those three, I mean, when you look at the timeline of it, is the Boyd was bitten by the spider. It got him weak. It got him kind of, not be himself. If he was strong and focused, he would have gotten to that lighthouse. So the spider bite made him weaker, slower, delusional. It made him actually listen to go hide instead of F this, let's just go, I don't care, it's dark, let's just get to the tower. He wasn't himself. Then in the tower he got those worms, there was Boy in White who directed him to that thing, to the tree. The tree got him to get the worms. Worms messed him up. Worms released cicadas. And so far 3 people are not doing so great because of the cicadas. So connecting the dots, it's not looking great unless there's a bigger plan,
You're
which we
exactly
don't know
right.
about.
Boy in White led him to Martin. Martin gave him the worms. Also led him to the music box. He went back
Yeah.
and they was able to kill that monster. But did that really help things? Killing that smile monster? It seems shit got worse once
Yeah,
that
that's how
smile
the
monster
cicadas
died.
got there.
And then the cicadas
nightmares
came,
are
and the
haunting
dreams and the
people.
nightmares became real and everything else and all that. So maybe the Boy in White was leading him in there so that he could make this go. Because maybe it got to the point. Let's look at it. Did it get to the point where these monsters were not a threat anymore? Where they knew how to handle these monsters. We put this up. We
Yeah.
go in that night. We don't have to worry about these motherfuckers anymore. So
Was
now
it like
we have
89 days? How many days was it? Boyd
a
was
long
like
time before there was ever an
80.
incident.
So like 3 months or so, or probably maybe like under 3 months, or so that's a long time when the experiment is just it's standing still, nothing is moving. So they had to kind of reintroduce something to make it move again. Because people were very happy there, just walking around like nothing is,
And Kenny
Exactly.
said something
They're
about
having sex in Colony House, bareback. You know what I mean? I seen a chick riding that dude in that episode. It's bareback riding, right? Rough Rider, god damn it, right? And no one was caring about nothing. Everyone was good about it. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. Sharing shit, girls sharing thongs and shit together. You know what I mean? That's the way it was in Colony House. Everybody was cool, smoking marijuana that Fatima brought. Everyone was good. Fatima was making a killing, selling that shit. She was the local drug dealer doing her thing and everything else. You know what I mean? It was all good. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden shit got bad. They said, hey, we got to step this game up. And now Boyd seems like the one who stepped it all out and everything else.
Shed has an interesting point in the live chat. Martin said, when the music stops, they will come. And the man on the phone says, you must stop the music. Which one is it? Is stopping the music actually going to be a bad thing? And that's when the next level happens.
Yeah,
and
so
they're trying
the person on the phone is the same people that are talking, that leave the messages on the music box, are the same people who communicate with Sarah, because they said that Sarah was the first person they were able to communicate with this whole time. So they've been trying to communicate with people, by trying to leave messages on the phone and all that stuff, but they haven't been able to get through. But now that the dreams are alive, they're able to get through the dreams, right? And they got through Kenny through the dream. And so you gotta remember, Kenny was sleeping when that phone call came in. It wasn't like he was in the real time and all of a sudden it rang. That was the reason why they were able to get through. Before that, the only person they were able to communicate was with Sarah. And they told Sarah straight up, we've been here a long time and we want to go home too. We're trying to get home. And the only way we get home is if you kill the boy. That's what they told her. But they ain't be specific about it.
Right. She thought it was Ethan.
Yeah,
You think
she
it's
thought it was Ethan.
the boy in the white needs to die.
It's the only person in this whole show referred to as boy is the boy in white. If you look it up in IMDb, he's the only one. No, they don't say boy Ethan. They say Ethan. This kid is referred to as the boy in white. They told us specifically, kill the boy. That's how we all get to go home.
Kill the boy, Jon
That
Snow.
boy is the boy in white. And that's what it is. He got to go for everyone to go home. We have 420 some odd people watching up in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boys and the lady, LMR, up in here. We got a bunch of Game of Thrones people in here. We got Littlefinger in here. You got a bunch of he popped up as soon as the Jon Snow comment was made.
Once I said
We have one Kramanako, meaning somebody from the show currently, and we have all the other individuals from. Like, I wonder what names will come from this show besides Kramanako.
Oh, little fingers in the chat plotting right now. This is area code 845.
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I'm calling from New York. Currently at the gym watching you guys' show.
What part of New York you said she was from?
I think
She just said she's in New York at the gym watching the show.
Oh, okay. Damn. She sounds like she working on the treadmill.
that if Tilly has 4 children and then 7 grandchildren, if she has 4 children and there's 4 children tied up, I think that she's the creator, so I think it would make sense that when Martin cut Boyd, that Boyd's blood had Martin's blood, and probably if Martin's related to Tilly, it would be the creator's blood. Would make sense that the creator's blood could kill the things that she created. So that's all.
So you think harvest blood from Tilly to use to kill the monsters is what I took from that message, and I like it. Let's do that. Let's slice Tilly open and start using her to kill
Tilly,
people.
listen, the
So
playing
for that.
card was there for a
So
reason
for
in season 1. The playing card was there for a reason in season 1.
Shady.
Tilly's got something to do with this.
Don't
shit.
trust the happy
I mean, if
one.
you want to say that these children here are Tilly's grandchildren, that's not the picture. Why would that happen? How about this one? This one? No. Oh, I gotta add it. Sorry. If you want to say these children here, 7 of them that are on this board, right? Have something to do with Tilly. Maybe she, sometimes you get attached to people, right? Sometimes you can be taking care of kids and start thinking them as your own kids or grandkids or something. Could be a situation like that with Tilly. That these were her, she considered them to be like part of herself and everything else. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't have put that in there. They wouldn't have stole everything on the steps means something. The ambulance on the steps, the car.
She wants to take Fatima's baby and end up putting it here or something and adding it because Tony was talking about this on the last stream or something like this. So I might be bastardizing his theory, but there can't be kids here. They're like the kids need to be brought into this area and stop. So Tilly was sent in and she knows Fatima's pregnant and she's gonna take that baby. I don't know.
And those kids are all the same age too. So I wonder what's up with that. Like, how did they all? It's not like little babies, like Craster's infant was it
Tilly
boys, right? Yeah.
Heather says Tilly is the witch.
It was Tilly all the time.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna. I will not fight back on any witch theory. I remember the girl Lauren from Lauren's Corner came on this channel a long time ago, and she talked about this being all about witches. Right back in the day, she was like, "Yo, seems to me," and not that. I mean, she does read tarot cards and shit. You know what I mean? And it could be a situation like, but she said it was about witches and stuff. So I'm not telling you it's not about witches. You know, it could be. Maybe she is. I don't know if it's going to be that way, because when I look at Fatima and the baby, and a lot of people wanted to say the baby could be a beast. Again, Belly of the Beast was the name of that episode. Could that be Fatima's child? But the fact that the Ellis brought that up and said that, hey, I think this child could be born with teeth and shit and all that stuff, I makes me think that's not the case, because they brought it up. They didn't bring that up, then I think we have more stuff to go on with it. The fact they brought it up and everything else, that would be a little bit crazy with me to bring it up and then have that happen and all that. Yeah. There's nothing but dream catchers and.
I'm also fully prepared.
Sweet Pea is like, listen, there's dream catchers, there's trees,
crows and pictographs.
I mean, yeah, there's dream catchers, there's trees, crows. I mean, we don't know that they're crows. Number one, you can't prove that it could be ravens, it could be either or, blackbirds, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As for trees, they're in the goddamn forest. It should be trees out there. So we can't use dream catchers. I'm with you, but dream catchers says that there are they call them nightmare creatures, right? So it could be because of the nightmare creatures and everything else. I think it would mean more than that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say it's not. Pictograms I haven't seen. So I have to. A Black Girls Talk says, here is my answer to whether or not the boy in white is evil. When he first appeared to Ethan in season 1, did you feel happy or did you feel a sense of dread and loathing? You probably felt dread, which means he's evil. I agree. When they first showed him and Ethan seen him, did that make you say, that's it, Ethan, you got a partner. We're going to get a bad this motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, he just stood there all creepy.
One of
and
the callers said it
weird.
earlier that it was creepy music played. So it definitely symbolized something like that. And I just want to say the thing about Tilly, they're definitely setting her up in a lot of creepy situations, but there's certainly the possibility that she's going to be Jim from last season, where I thought all season long the bartender was in on it, and Tilly could perfectly well be. They had a whole episode
the
where
bartender's coming back, Phil, so he may have
maybe you never can tell, but they had a whole episode because no, I do not think Dawn is shady, but they gave us a whole episode where they showed the perspective where you had to question whether she was shady, showing up at the right time, right situation. Editing is a lot of that. And I don't think Donna's up to something. So the thing with Tilly, she could just be one of those, she overheard, she's a busybody. She listened. It could be not that she's evil and twisted. She just listened in on a conversation between Fatima and Ellis because she's nosy and she shared the information. It could be as simple as that, or she just does have a little bit of clairvoyance in some ways.
Someone said put Tilly in the box.
I was leading the charge. Put Tilly in the box.
Do it.
In the box. There we go.
And until he's gonna put box in a box the way she is.
I've never been in a box.
Yeah, I we'll see what happens with Tilly and everything else.
I agree, Quad. Tilly's as dirty as fuck. I'm just offering the alternative position. She's shady, and they've set her up to be shady. And
especially with that comment, why would they do that? She was already like, why would they build it up for us like that?
She
with
put the morphine
comments.
in front of the attic to tempt the attic.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of smoke there with Tilly's shady.
You know, and I would say that she showed up at the right time. She know too much.
Yeah.
You know, and she just know too much. I don't know if she's on the stupid 227 sitting there gossiping, but she know too much. How does she know all this shit? You know, like when it started raining and everything else, she was dancing in that motherfucker all good. Listen, that rain and everything else was set up rain. It wasn't like it was the seasons changing. Whoever's in control of this shit put the rain down. She might have knew that shit. So let me go dance up in this motherfucker.
Kramanako could be right. It could be she could be not sick. This place healed her. There's a lot of possibilities with her.
Yeah.
One way or another, something's up with her. Something's up, and I don't think we'll find out this season. I think she'll be shady into next year.
and you know, I would say when the actress Liz Saunders came on the channel and everything, she said that she liked you know, playing out there with Tilly. Like,
Yeah, I think she hinted at like there'd be more to come with her. Like,
yeah, she was like, oh, she said she brought her up, and there's no need to bring her up, and she brought her up that how much she liked acting with her and everything else and all that stuff, and how good of an actress and all that she was and everything else. So that's really, we over 400 people strong. You know, hit the thumbs up for your boys and the lady and Don. And all of us up here, you know what I mean? So let you know, show some love and make sure you hit that up and everything else. Again, in the end, with this whole situation, there's certain people who got there. It's not a coincidence that this chick fiance showed up when she was about to almost give Kenny some ass. Almost about to do it, and then all of a sudden the fiance shows up. That's not a coincidence. You know what I mean? It had to be a reason why that whole shit happened and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So Kenny ain't getting no ass. We know that that's done. But you know what I mean? But he almost did. He came close.
Now, what if she dies? What if what's her name?
Marielle. I mean, Kenny kind of screwed himself a little bit when he acted the foolish during the operation situation when he brought up the shit before. He was playing it perfect until that point, because if anything, God forbid, happened to Mary Ellen, up until that point, he was prime to be in a good position to reconnect with Christy afterwards. The position he put himself in now, where he had a little tantrum, threw a little fit out there, it's not a good look for Kenny.
At the wrong time, too.
The wrong time.
Yeah, and she needed support, and he left her when she needed him the most.
Exactly.
It's like,
and when the actress who played her
no coming
came
back
on, she specifically said that, you know, like that wasn't the time.
Bad
that
time.
It was bad. The time
Very bad, because it's great to be there for somebody, you know, when they're like, oh, great, but when really that hits the fan, that's where you're supposed to be.
I've screwed up with some people in big ways and some people in small ways. Sometimes worse is screwing up in a small way at the wrong time. And it's just completely can destroy a situation. And I whether Kenny can find his way back there, we'll keep track of that. Obviously, it's a season 3, but I think he definitely put a big wedge for getting back there in the way he acted during that situation.
Because, like, in case of Christy, she's there for her fiance. Like, she's going through some hell right now. She's going through, is accusing her of everything. She's shifting, and she's like, "It's okay, it's okay. I'm here for you." So Christy is able to be there for a person who's going through withdrawals, but Kenny wasn't able to be there. Just let's do this surgery on this dead creature. He's like, "I'm out." Like that. That's not good.
She kissed him on the cheek and his nuts dropped. And that was the problem. He got that kiss on the cheek, and that's when he started going crazy about it. She should have never kissed him. All of a sudden, one kiss on the cheek made this dude act all nutty. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And that's what Craig Mack. You ain't Craig Mack, goddamn. I know Craig Mack when I see him. All right. There's no flavor in your ear coming off it, Craig Mack. And he says Eldrim is Fatima's child from the future. So I would say this, that I actually when he came on the channel, I brought this theory up to him, and he laughed about it.
Yeah, he talked about it. He talked about it on his live Instagram thing he did too, because someone else asked him about it there too, and he was a little bit more warm to it there, but still sort of. It's
just not going to be. Listen, you're not going to have kinkier hair than your father. When you ain't gonna have kinky hair, if you said it was Boyd and Fatima's child, possibility there, then we could see it being a possibility if Fatima got around like that. But as for this dude, no, it's impossible. The skin type don't match, the hair don't match. It's just not gonna be what it's gonna be. It's just not the way it goes. You know what I mean? Come on. And Quan says that kiss was manipulation. I mean, listen, she's a sexy girl. But you wouldn't get me strung out, but no kiss like that. Like if you would try to kiss me on the cheek, I would have just turned my face right into you. Like as soon I'd have been right there. Ah, you ain't getting away with that cheek shit. Too grown for that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna happen at all. Jackie, see, I'm not gonna go through the debate with you, but you're saying two mixed races can not hair like that. No, it's impossible. I'm gonna be honest. I'm black. I'm a black man. Trust me. So I'm going on knowledge here. All right. You cannot have a half black man that's half black and white with an Iranian woman get kinkier hair than a full blown African American man, which this dude seems to be. It's impossible. It's not. This is not the way it is, girl. Trust me. I know this for a fact. You know what I mean? There's no way. I have my children are both of my daughters are from my same mother, and she happens to be white. And I can show you pictures of them. And it's not close. I can show you someone who my man who we call him Perp because he's purple, and he has a child with a white woman. I can show you the hair on that, and you need to see. It ain't the same. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes and everything else. And that's what it is and stuff. LMR's cats are going crazy.
They know the time frame. Like when we're like 2 hours, they're like, okay.
Yeah, they were like, it's over. It's over for right. We gotta get out of here.
They're like, we've heard the theories, Mom.
Yeah, the dog's gotta go out.
Time to feed us, Mom.
Yeah.
That's my man right there. Unruly is my boy. That's my boy right there. That's my motherfucking man right there. Unruly up and everything else. Good to see you up here. I was just talking to him like the other day about everything going on in the show and all that good stuff. That's my man right there. You know, 50 grand. Show him some love up in here in this piece. He's about to have a baby. Actually, congratulations on your baby and all that stuff. But that's my dude right there and everything else. You know what I mean? Show him some love up in the chat and all that good stuff. He's lurking. You ain't the only one lurking, dude. Oh, Coco. Let's get that super chat going. I'm heading out, but I wanted to plug a doc on PBC tonight at 10 p.m. about what?
Epididymis. LMR, help.
Endometriosis.
Endometriosis.
She's so much smarter than all of us. Advocating to spread the word about
LMR, help.
So we can do it, right? See, I'm the one who just say, fuck it, let me just try to say this shit and sound stupid.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to say, and it's a difficult thing to live with.
If you have PBS, watch that documentary Coco said, give it a shot. You know what I mean? Give it a shot and everything else. Don't know what it's about, but if she said it's good, then it's good.
Now the kiddies are yelling at you.
Yeah, no,
Oh, that was my dog.
The dog's gotta go out. We're at it. We've been out here for 2.5 hours. That's usually how we go. Bottom line is this. So people have said that they wanted me to come on here, talk about other people's theories and do all that. You put tomorrow night. If somebody now remember Friday, we had a thing with Taryn. He's gonna come on and give his theory. We're gonna talk about it. Anybody else who want to do something or something like that, hit me up tomorrow. Hit me up tomorrow, and we'll talk about maybe streaming tomorrow and doing some type of let me hear your theory type situation, and then we'll see if we can run that tomorrow. All right. But besides that, we'll see you on Friday. You know what I mean? For that stream. Again, you'll see us on Saturday. We'll do another stream on Saturday, pre-stream. And then Sunday, the final Escaping From podcast for the season. Not for the season, you know what I mean? We'll do another one, but we'll do that one for the episode. And we'll see what it is and all that stuff.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Do you rewatch stream? I've never rewatched any of the streams I've ever done. Ever. Do you rewatch your streams?
I've gone back to watch clips, but it's usually in the sense to go back and clip a Joe rant. But I don't go back and watch a whole thing. I'm just like, Joe was really funny on that rant shitting on something. So I go back to do that. But when I go back to edit something out, I'm like, I got to edit that part out. Like I'll go and go do that. But very, very rarely. Some of my early ones, like the Breaking Bad ones, like my first live streams talking about Breaking Bad. I've listened to those just because they were the first ones to see how bad they were. But for the most part, no, I don't go back and listen.
I have not either, man. Robert Rubb says, "Thank you, guys. You know, you might call me Tony Rubb tonight because that's probably what's going to happen." All right.
oh yeah, and this weekend, if anyone was a fan of the series, The Bear on Hulu last year, it was with the kid that plays Lip. Season 1 was 8 episodes, half-an-hour episodes, really good. I might do a live stream if I binge watch the whole season tonight. But it's called The Bear on Hulu. It's a cooking show, but it's kind of fun. Bob Odenkirk's going to be on this season. It's if you've ever worked in the kitchen, it can kind of recreate the feeling. But the new season drops tomorrow. If you're looking for something to binge this weekend, half-an-hour episodes, funny, cool. Watch The Bear.
All right, people are saying After Dark. Let's see if we can get one. Let me speak to Anna and see if I can do it After Dark this weekend or something like that. If you want to do it After Dark,
yeah, the guy who plays Lip, that kind of looks like a better looking Rodney Dangerfield. That dude, yeah.
Coco says Tony or Phil is my super chat allowed. Yes, we did read Coco's super chat, right?
Yeah, I believe so. We can now search through them. So let me go. He said she said I'm heading out, but wanted to do a plug for the PBS doc. Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, we said that.
And then I left my first voicemail. Not sure if it made sense because of my nerves. I can call back to clarify. No, we loved your voicemail, Coco.
It's very
nice. Let me see if we could rustle up an After Dark this Saturday night. We will see if we can do that. I have to speak to Anna and see if she's free to do it. I'll let you know the deal. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up, the Spreaders Across the Realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.
And stay sexy.